We're on the internet, right? Confirm that my existence is real. Okay, so let's just get right into it. Really really fast. Oh my god, talking is hard. Just going through announcements as fast as I can because we're already late and technical issues are technical issues. So, our 24-hour battle royale is going to. It is edited. It is fixed. Yay! I found the workaround, and it will be posted on Saturday, February 1st.
Ooh. Do you have to split it into sections for YouTube?
No,
or
all 6 hours are just up there.
Jeez.
Yes.
How long was that game?
Like 6 hours.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
Yep.
I wonder who wins. I don't know.
Amazing hours
for
Jericho.
Actually.
Well, if you guys want to see Hogwarts Prep and Sacred World battle out to see who the victor is, please. It was amazing. It was never any frustrating.
It was a photo finish.
It was very fun to finish.
Very much.
Meteor shower OP plus nerf.
But fair warning, we had been streaming for over 24 hours at that point, so you got to be a little bit patient with us.
We were a little
So like,
we're
ragey.
Here,
like
we're still friends.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Like the non-barbarians were raging too.
Our podcast that we tested out this Monday will be next Monday. I think it was a pretty cool success. A couple things we want to fix around here and there, but overall, we had actually probably more views on the podcast than some of our D&D shows, which is bonkers.
Yeah.
But so cool. Other thing is
I went back and looked at episode 1, by the way. You know that video's got 273 something views, right?
that's really dope, and I did not know that. Thank you. That makes me feel super happy.
Yeah.
I have been sharing this like crazy. So.
Awesome. Okay. Last tiny bit of announcement for YouTube scheduling is the Magic Fest that you guys went to in Oklahoma City, where you guys interviewed Mrs. Raddick. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm
pretty sure I'm pronouncing it wrong too, but she didn't correct me, so...
That should be out this Saturday, which I have a video for you.
Okay.
So I'll give you that, and you can do whatever you want with it.
Okay.
Also, this Saturday there's going to be an awesome burlesque show at in Huntsville. If any one of you guys live in Texas, just advertising it because I'll be there. And there's a little preview in the intermission for it. But Prison City Follies on 12th Street in Huntsville. It's the Moon's Night Out Burlesque Show. It's going to start doors open at 8, show starts at 9. You can either any social media or you can Gmail for Prison City Follies to get information for the tickets. Again, I'll be there. It's fun. It's a legitimately cool show. There is acts that I cannot mention. Because it's Twitch and it's scandalous.
I was about to say, I'm pretty sure Twitch would have a problem with you advertising a burlesque show, but I thought I was confusing burlesque with cabaret.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so...
everything's moon themed. And even moon people are in it.
Oh, Lord.
It's hilariously, intellectually sexy. There's also other things, like piano performances and poem readings, and then boobs. Who doesn't like boobs? But quickly,
you know who
let's.
doesn't like boobs? Twitch's terms of service.
I think they don't like.
They don't like
nipples. I think that's what they. I mean, boobs are also probably.
Yeah, but I mean, boobs.
No, you're right. These sound like boobs.
Yeah.
But we do have merch store information down below. Our friends at Talon and Claw, sorry that I'm just blowing through this, but they have these amazing DM screens. They have awesome cool dice folds. They have these dual hex dice trays, which ours has our little logo on. If you can see over there. There we go. They also have single ones. For these, you can have any of the Player's Handbook classes on it, like Barbarian or Bard or Druid, etc. On there. And if you use the code Divine Conquer, you get 10% off. Our friend Vic and Lynn are working on the Alistair comic. Their information is down below for the Patreon. And then there's a couple other shout-outs I was supposed to say, and I don't have a sticky note with me. Wayward Games, their maps are awesome. The Patreon just started, and he's very communicative with the community that is helping. Oh, Drop Pile Stream will start this Saturday. So that's every other Saturday. We will have a draw pile, which is cute.
A pile of drawings.
A pile of drawings. Which, if that is how the organization's going to work, now I'm taking it out loud, it's going to be one extremely heavy week of streaming, and then 2 games. Extremely heavy week of streaming, 2 games.
What time is the drop time?
It's going to be at 7.
Yeah, that number.
7, 8, maybe 9. The information is here, and I don't know it because I'm not the one who's organizing that. That is a Lynn and Vic project that they're using.
Lynn is in the chat.
Lynn, what's the information?
TBA.
To be announced.
All right, cool. That is
Nice.
Tune in at TBA on Saturday here on Twitch/Divide and Conquer_. Let's roll that bean footage. Oh wait, does anyone have any announcements?
God, that line from the Battle Royale still gets in my head from when we all spawned before combat started, and Sonya just pipes up and goes, "Can we hurry this up? I already know how this ends."
So,
Who knows how it ends?
show you guys how prepared I am, as I'm trying my absolute best to have this audio being played, and I'm totally wearing my braces. What are you talking about? Shut up. You don't know me. You're not my real dad.
That's my line.
I was.
Oh yeah, we have merch.
You do have merch.
I'm not wearing one right now because they're dirty.
I keep
But merch.
Yes. Thank you,
Merch.
Jeremiah. Thank you.
Stuff at the bottom.
Yeah.
Yes, stuff.
Words.
Words at the bottom.
Merch information at the bottom of our.
There you go.
down below.
What he said.
So, you guys were at the Temple of Kush in Sudan, one out of 3 necropolis, defeating some pharaohs that were magically mummified. You guys dug through the treasure, found some priceless artifacts in the Muggle world, but a reasonable amount of gold in the Wizarding world, since ones that make things explode exist.
Yep.
A piece of jewel from a long time ago isn't that impressive anymore. You guys did find a tomb that had the emblem of the moth. Inside this tomb, you found with a amazingly 30-something in investigation. Thank you very much. You guys did discover that there was a child that was put within this tomb that did not match the intricacy and oddness of the other pharaoh tombs, the other king and queen-like tombs.
Was that even the investigation roll, or was that me being a dumbass and putting my skeleton in it?
All that combined.
Yeah. He put his skeleton.
This is why if you're a DM and your player wants to do something, you should always certainly let them try, because they get great information. If they're creative, you're like, wait a minute, but information now.
Yeah.
You guys did discover that it was a young girl within the that was buried in here, and as well as a Greek box with some creatures that maybe the party has discovered, but the characters have not. And a letter that was written in Greek, and thanks to our comprehend languages, was a note noting a new student from a wizard, an ancient Greek wizard named Harple the Fowl, which you guys recognize from a chocolate-covered frog as a very high-valued, high point-valued card within the chocolate frog game. So, you guys decided that you were going to take a rest within the temple since there's still a sandstorm raging outside. Is there anything that we would like to do? As I totally ignore my computer. God dang it, don't.
Are we waking up from our long rest?
Well, I wanted to know if there's anything you guys wanted to do
Before?
before the long rest. And if there's not, then we're technically going to wake up from a long rest in a minute.
Yay!
Is there anything that we want to do before we do our long rest, or is it just we're in a safe spot next to the camels and let's do a long rest?
I just want to double check with you. I feel exhausted, or I feel
You feel weak.
weak. Okay.
Yes.
I feel that.
Okay.
Like I'll
Just
just
double checking.
basically like kind of.
I'm gonna just say, I'm really tired, guys. I feel kind of weak. I'm gonna lay down.
Like we don't know what happened to
No.
Neff, right?
No.
Neff doesn't even know what happened to Neff.
I mean, I saw her get hit with necrotic energy.
You saw her get hit with necrotic damage.
Yeah. But really, that's about it.
But I also got hit pretty good. So.
Can I roll history of that if I know if something's going on with her? When she got hit by the mummy?
Can I roll medicine on it?
You can roll medicine.
Cool.
You can roll history. Yes. I have to make up DCs for something that has no DC.
10. That was so low.
Probably a fail.
Yeah.
Well, fuck me. I have proficiency in this, and I managed to get lower than a 10. I got an 8.
She's probably just really tired. I mean, that was a hard hit.
Yeah.
That was a very strong hit, and to be honest, she was the only one taking the hits. Like,
I mean, you were basically barricading the door.
yeah, she went in and just all the hits on her.
Yeah.
She was a barbarian.
I was the tank.
Like with that, I will just kind of go screw, take care of him a little bit,
Okay.
and then now get my rest.
Okay. Our party in the Aether, we understand that communication is not. So, are you guys just going to take a rest? If you want, you can nod or speak.
I'm gonna have a long around us before we take a long rest.
Look around.
Cast alarm.
Cast alarm. Got it. Okay. So as you see that she's putting her charms up in the air, casting the alarm spell within. Do you choose just yourself for the trigger, or do you choose anyone else? Just you? Okay. All right. Are we just taking a long rest?
I mean, as I'm laying down, I guess I'll turn to Spinal and be like, wait, I never thought to ask this. Do you eat things?
I eat justice.
Do you need water or something, bud? And I'm
I
like,
would love water.
okay, cool. Pull out water, skin, pass it
He
to
kind of
Spinal.
just like lets his arms down as though like bathe me.
Aw.
He is a plant.
Yeah. I'll water him a bit and then be like, all right, nap time, bud.
As like he kind of stands perfectly still, you actually see the water like almost accumulate on top and then absorb itself with it. Like it all starts funneling to like his chest and the shoulders, and then starts soaking itself with it.
Aw.
Is there any like living creatures here, like rats or anything?
No, not that you've seen, not anything at all.
Then I guess I'll just try to give Kuskru some of my rations and stuff.
Okay.
Like we'll share it. And then
Sure.
that's it.
Sure. Which technically your rations, we are still up to date with everybody that's eaten. So for RP purposes, yes, please give them some rations, but don't necessarily take it off your sheet just yet for your resources for the next, because you have 30 more days of traveling.
Just so you know, it's still glitching every now and then.
Not as often.
It's fine.
Yeah.
I'm distracting them
Sorry.
with my dubs.
Sorry, guys.
So,
Oh, Lord.
It is distracting me. Now that I see it, now I have to fix it. Just not told me.
that's weird.
Yeah. So what about you guys? Now I'm gonna have it in the back of my head. What are you guys doing?
I'm gonna lay down.
Okay. Bones?
Neff passes out on the stone
I
floor.
also want to take a long rest.
Okay. Alright.
Very long.
So
I Actually, my screen is black too.
Like I see them.
Refresh it.
It's not.
Like I see them.
Yeah, refresh your screen. Alright. So,
Just moving it.
as you guys have a long rest, recover
I
full
don't have a
HP,
problem with mine.
recover full HP, spells,
Before we close out,
etc.
there we go. There it goes. Oh, it's probably trying to generate an ad before it runs.
Cool. Awesome.
I don't know, man. Mine's out too.
Anyone going to do anything as soon as you guys wake up?
No. I think
I'm
I'm
gonna
good.
drink water.
Okay. You drink water.
I'm gonna look at their
Roll me
coastal
Constitution
skin, that's it.
save Neff.
Okay. Which one do I want to use? Okay. It's not that bad.
I don't know where my cards are. That's not good.
That's a 21.
21. Okay.
Ignore that noise.
I heard it.
Every
21.
time I link it,
Alright.
it goes black.
You close up and
Neff.
Multiple times.
Secret messages.
So, as
Yeah, I think
you
it's
are
something under
waking up,
consent, I've got it.
you're not necessarily like you feel fine. You're
Uh-huh.
you're toughing through this.
Right.
You're you know something's off, but
Yeah.
it shouldn't really bother you that much.
Did you take damage?
Nope.
Okay.
So, on the next morning, since no one took watch, when you guys wake up, the sandstorm is completely gone. You see the heat rising, just the heat waves, there we go. The sun, extremely high. What do we do?
Like, what time is it?
Since you guys went to bed closer to midnight, I would say if you were a light sleeper, probably waking up around 7. If you're a heavy sleeper, closer to 9. So anywhere between then, you guys can wake up.
I'm just gonna actually kind of look outside and see what I can see. Like, what damage did the sandstorm do to our
Doesn't-
trail and anything like that.
Roll me perception.
No, I'm not rolling. Stuff going. I'm not there. 11.
11. Doesn't seem to be any damage whatsoever. It looks as though the sandstorm never even hit. There's no sand anywhere within the temple. On the slight little pillars on the outside of the temple, where you guys walked before, like everything started sinking down. Seems to be no traces of any sand blowing through here, except for what's already inside the temple itself.
Right.
Alright, I guess Griswold will get up, go look around outside real quick, feel the heat and be like, nope, turn around.
Okay. I'll have all of you, except for Leon, roll me perception.
Okay.
Except me.
Mm-hmm. You already rolled perception.
Wow.
That wasn't good.
I don't see a damn thing, I don't think.
Yeah. I'm gonna say 9.
23.
Okay.
24.
Okay, of course.
19.
Okay.
Because I
As-
get realistic numbers. No.
Well, I guess I'm still groggy.
a little groggy. As when you go outside Grizzy and you come back in, like nope. You're noticing Sonya and Jericho as they're both waking kind of close to each other wherever they were sleeping, and they're both kind of like eyeing something on Neff. And then when you trace her eyes, you also see it. As part of her shoulder where she was hit, you see a large black line starting to stretch behind her shoulder. Almost like roots start growing.
I guess I'm gonna go over to Neff and just, if she's asleep, just kind of boop her a little bit, like just a boop.
I think at that
specific,
point I'm already up, but I don't know. I would say I was already up. But
Okay. I'll
So-
be like, does that hurt? I'm gonna boop it directly.
Does that hurt?
Roll me Constitution saving.
Oh no! It's just a light boop.
I know.
Alright. That's 5. That's an 11.
Okay. It is extremely painful. Almost
Ah!
double the pain from the initial injury. And as you boop it, you see that there is almost a purple hue of light that just as though the magic is still spreading, and like almost like pulsates through wherever the lines were. And you see that it's even go within her shirt.
It's not spreading to me, though, right?
When you look at your no, it's not on you.
Okay, cool.
But the pain that you feel like travels throughout your entire body.
Okay. That fucking really hurt! Don't touch me, you bitch!
Ow!
One more time.
Nap. I'm gonna go over there and I'm gonna nap. Chill. I'm gonna gently place my hands on top of it and cast Identify.
Okay.
Okay.
When you cast Identify, it is necrotic within the School of Magic, and you also do identify that this is a curse.
She's gonna curse and I'm gonna cry.
I'm gonna throw my potions back into my bag and go and be like, well, this is beyond my scope of expertise.
Yeah, I'm gonna relate it to her. Be like, this.
Technically, within the identification spell, and then with a couple little house things here and there, you would get a commonality of a name, and this disease is known as mummy rot. Not that you know what that means, but you know that whatever this is, it has a very specific name. So it's either very powerful, or it's very common and you've never heard of it. So therefore, it's a very powerful spell.
Would I know?
She's the only one that knows what that is.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, or to know the name of the disease. Or, excuse me, curse.
Okay, so I know it's called Mummy Rot. Is that correct?
Yes, you know that the curse is called mummy rot.
Okay, I'm gonna tell anyone who hasn't even heard of Mummy Rot.
As soon as she says that out loud, if you have any training in history, arcana, or anything that relates to the undead, you can roll a history check or arcana check.
History and undead.
Yeah, whatever you want to roll. What did you get?
6. Yeah, I don't think
I mean, it's an ancient curse, so it wouldn't make
Sounds
sense
like
that
it's
it's hard.
related to mummies and rotting. That's my guess.
I mean, I have an argument for why I should roll, but
Okay.
I don't know if you should let me have this one.
What's up?
So like being communal with spores and that sort of thing, things that grow on corpses and stuff like that. I figured that would be a commonality with the undead by proxy. No, okay,
Because of the root of the curse.
gotcha.
I have 15 total. That's it.
Okay. Jericho?
I got 13 in history.
A 30 in history.
13.
Why? Okay, I was like,
13.
why would you not get a 30? 13 in history. Okay. And was yours history or arcana?
Mine's history.
History. Okay.
Like, what about like the undead with my favorite enemy or something like that?
No. Sure. You are a ranger that specializes in the undead. That should be fine. You can double your proficiency.
No. I was just asking about that. If you want me to double the proficiency,
You can double your proficiency.
then it's gonna be 18.
18, okay. Mummy rot is you bones. Not that you don't know it because you haven't. The information even at Hogwarts is limited on this. It's literally like a sentence on a condition. Here's a list of curses. It's there, but it has no pay attention. And it's also would be informed. This is what everybody knows for the ones that rolled, and then we keep going on top. But it's one of those things where like you'll never get this. You're not going to die of smallpox. Like that's
Right.
already been remedied.
Right, it's a rare
Yeah.
thing. How would you get it?
Like
Yeah.
exactly. Jericho.
Pissing off mummies, apparently.
This is a very specific thing to do with Egyptian dark magic. It also shouldn't even exist because it takes way too much energy to create a mummy. Leon? The amount of distrust and anytime that your new party would mention the undead or a necromancer, people at the market just fled. They're like, nope, we're not having this conversation at all. The idea of undead, specifically in Egypt, is a very taboo thing. Their undead are extremely powerful. Mummies, it's a religious performance infused with horrible, painful magic. So that's a big thing on why this is extremely horrendous that they even exist. On top of now, mummy rot is a very specific curse that only an undead that has been turned into a mummy can perform. And what it does is it literally rots you from the inside out. There is no cure for this. Remove curse is a spell that removes curses. That's not a cure. There's no cure for mummy rot. You die within days. Muggles die in hours. You're literally rotting from the inside out. So, when Griswold poked her, you were literally poking deceased parts of her shoulder and her arms. Like, if you see it on top of her, that's because the inside's already decayed. It is incredibly painful. You got 18?
Mm-hmm.
This is up to speculation. There has never been any confirmed way to prove if this is right or not. But there's a theory that...
Oh, if this is right or not?
Yeah, what I'm going to say is right or not. There's a theory that if anyone dies by the curse of the mummy rot, the wizard or witch that performed the ritual to create the mummy has control over that new formed corpse. There's never been any way to prove that, but it's something that gets thrown around as a urban legend within a very niche part of your community. So, you know that.
Mm-hmm.
What do you guys do? As Neff, it just fucking hurts.
Yeah.
Like, I'll actually relay that to everybody and look at Nev specifically. And with all my expertise in the archaeology and the undead, I'm sorry, but I don't know any kind of cure for that. It's actually amazing that you're still living.
Huh.
Well, that's not great.
I have a dumb meta thought. Can you specify what curse you're targeting with remove curse?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Just making sure.
That's what we were going to do.
What do you guys think?
Technically, I don't know. Oh,
It's not
that's
defined.
what we're gonna do
That's
if it
what we're gonna
happens?
do. Yeah.
Okay.
You have to know of the curse and specify the curse. So technically, yeah.
Like, when...
I don't think it's common for players to have multiple curses on them. The curse usually kills you.
Like, I'll look at. Did we know that Ophelia tried to do the remove curse spell on Jericho?
Yes.
Sonya.
Or I mean Sonya. Ophelia is wrong game.
Long day.
Wrong game.
I'm not the only one, guys. 3
Yes.
D&D games a week gets pretty... information gets mixed up. Yes, you guys do know that it was a very specific spell.
What do you think, Sonya?
It would work, and with Neth's permission,
Like, I think it would work.
I will do it.
I
But
have,
Neth has to support.
as an alternative, I have no idea. Ketones ointment.
Keto's ointment? What does that
Yeah.
do?
It says
Very powerful. Technically, it's Merlin's ointment in this world.
Oh yeah.
Okay, it says that 1 dose of the ointment can be swallowed or applied, and the creature receives it regains 2d8 plus 2, ceases to be poisoned, and/or is cured of any disease.
Because
This is
of
a
the
curse.
wording,
Read it
I'd
again.
argue it's.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
read it again.
This is a curse, not a disease. So.
I'll
I would say that Griswold would probably know the distinction between Merlin's oils removing diseases versus something like magically inflicted like
Yeah,
a curse.
Griswold would just reach over to Bones and be like, medicines ain't gonna cure that.
And with that too, I will look at Ophelia and say,
Sonya.
Sonya!
It's okay.
It's
I don't know.
okay.
I said Sonya the first time. I don't know what you're
It's
talking
okay, Leonie.
Leon.
Leonie.
You gotta
I'll
just do it.
look at Sonya and and I need to say that out loud like 5 times. And then I will tell her basically the remove curse spell should be able to remove the curse, but healing her from the curse is a different thing.
Oh, healing her from the after effects?
Yes.
But if you
Well, I mean,
But if we do this, if we are gonna do this, this needs to happen now before it spreads even more.
Also, from what I'm reading on about the spell, it says all curses affecting one creature. It says
Yeah.
all.
We just
we're gonna do
addressed it.
targeting here because
We're gonna target the spell.
lycanthropy is something you're potentially born with. It's a blood curse as opposed to whatever curse this is, which I'm assuming is a different type.
Because it's in my head as a DM, it says remove curse versus remove curses.
Mm-hmm.
That is how I'm ruling it for our table.
And D&D is made by Wizards of the Coast, so I would take every spell description as very, very literal. It's like,
So
Hit
yes,
me.
you can target the curse. That what you were
Hit
doing.
me, Sonya.
I'll.
I'm not gonna hit you.
Can I have like a
Well, don't
ready
really
action?
hit me. Just hit me with the
Yeah.
spell.
Yeah.
Just basically just cure wounds
Sure.
on her, on Neff,
Mm-hmm.
No.
and then I'm gonna nudge
Okay.
at Grizz and say,
Okay.
lesser restoration.
I mean, I'm just gonna look around and be like, all right, I get the idea. Whip out healer's pack, whip out second healer's pack, whip out herbalism kit, and sit there and stand by.
Right. You see the smell of ointments and greenery that has been missing a lot starts filling the air. Quite pleasant. A little bit overwhelming at the beginning, but quite pleasant now.
Thanks,
after
guys.
being in the desert for so long, like
Yeah.
finally greenery.
Tinctures and herbs and powders. So, what do we do,
Are you
guys?
ready?
Yep.
Need to be held down or anything?
Get me. Come get me.
I mean, I do have a chaotic neutral, very stupid
Oh, yeah,
idea that I know no one in this party is going to want me to do at all, but it's a thought. I wonder what would happen to this curse if she forcibly transformed into a werewolf.
No,
I can't.
with
You can. I have Moonbeam.
no, with that,
So.
with
They
what
heal?
happened with Jericho last time, I'm actually gonna, because of I'm scared as character. I don't want it to happen again. I was gonna suggest if I can tie her up. before this happens.
The binding might also be painful for her.
Hand and feet.
Tell her.
Yeah, I'm telling them.
Yes.
Do you think you should be bound for this? Would you like something to bite down on?
I'm asking permission
This is
because I don't
gonna
want to
be-
just tie them
Look, I'm painful, but
I
got
have a
rope.
feeling this is gonna suck.
Well, here's the other thing.
Sure,
Who could
tie me
possibly
up.
restrain Neff? That's what we're kind of like. Who's,
Yeah,
Who
tie
could
me
hold
up.
her? I mean,
That's
it's-
fine.
Wait, what?
Yeah,
Who could,
Jericho.
who could hold her?
who
Jericho
has
bind me
better
real
sleight of
quick.
hand.
Yeah.
Jericho, tie me up, BDSM daddy.
What about some,
Oh no! I don't like this.
What about some mage handing?
Sonya's gonna kill me.
Mage Hand has like a 10-pound limit on it, so you can't put that much
No.
torque onto whatever you're tying.
All right. Here's rope. Take it out of my bag and get it to them, and tie me up, and fine.
All right, Jericho, roll me sleight of hand.
Kinky.
I look around for any potential suspension spots from the ceiling.
Roll perception.
Oh my god!
Is there? Do we have a high? I thought the ceilings were like
2.5 stories high?
I
Yeah,
mean-
they are.
Doesn't mean you can't eventually get there. You guys have levitate and spider climb
gas,
and
right?
gaseous form. What did you get?
26.
18.
Can I
I mean,
change
if
my
you really want to, you can make something, but it's pretty.
Can I change my spell?
That
My
you
hold
have
action spell?
Yeah, you haven't released it, so sure.
Technically.
Technically, that's not how it works, but yeah, sure.
yeah.
Role play, so yeah, sure.
I'm basically just holding if she starts to transform and stuff like that.
Mhm.
I'm casting web.
Web, okay. Web's a 20-foot area, just so you know.
Yes.
You would know. Okay. Maybe about a little bit under 10 minutes. This is a really nice, coordinated, equally bound tying between your hands and your feet. Where do you want the point to be? Do you want to connect the feet? Do you want to connect them be separately? You want the rope to be off to some other person? Do you want to tie him behind her back so she can't really move well? What do you want?
I want to tie it to where she can't really move well, but I want to be
Behind
holding
my
it.
back.
Okay, so
Okay.
it's tied behind your back. Your knees are on the floor,
Yeah.
and Jericho has the other end.
Okay.
So if you break,
I'm
you're
picturing,
probably going to fall backwards versus anything else.
Yeah.
I'm picturing an executioner's pose.
Well, it's whatever Jericho wants to really
Yeah,
make it
no,
look
no,
like.
no, I
Yeah.
get it. I'm just saying, like, that's what jumped into my head when you said you're on
Oh.
your knees.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like right before you go
Yeah,
on the
kinda,
chopping
yeah.
block, that
Mhm,
kind of thing.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Kinky.
Really setting the scene, right?
I mean, it's setting something.
Not reading my Saturday nights. As you guys do that, Sonya, what do we do?
Tell me when now.
When? Do it now.
Wham!
Okay, I'm gonna put a hand on both shoulders, behind, front and back, and then I'm gonna do it.
Can
I'm like, wait,
Can I have
wait.
my wand out?
Yeah, you're one.
If I need to
I'm-
levitate her or do something, I want to be ready.
I'm gonna look at Sonya and I'll be like, hold up! And then I'm going to reach into my. Would a medicine kit have something for like if you literally have to do an amputation in the field, something to bite down on, just like a wooden block?
I think I still have some.
1940s,
wooden
reasonably
boxes
sure that
in
would
my-
still be even in a Muggles
Sure.
medicine
I
kit.
think
Like,
I still
I have rope. You can.
I would
use
say
a
there would
rope.
be like bound leather, like really tightly
Okay.
bound leather on top of like wood.
I'm gonna walk over to Neff and just say, you might want to bite down on this. This might hurt. And then
Kinky.
I can't grab it, so I just go, hound.
no, I put it in there. It's
Exactly.
like, yeah, no, just
You have your wand out. All right.
Murmur.
I've got all kits on standby.
Okay.
Yeah, I have to touch her. I'm gonna have to touch her, so it's gonna be one side of the shoulder on the other side.
Okay. So, Sonya, are you going to cast Remove Curse?
This allowed me to, so yes.
Okay.
PTSD.
What curse are you trying to remove?
The mummy rock.
Okay. Work off your spell slot. As soon as she puts both her hands on you, a powerful spell that is mostly performed wandless. You see the energy flowing from Sonya into you. I do need you to roll me a Constitution saving throw.
Alright.
It's the third one for the night.
I know.
I know. Someone
Alright.
Constitution saving
So
for
that's
this.
a 16.
16. Okay. As Sonya, you start casting the spell, the energy starts almost like binding, and you see that it kind of like gleams over her entire body, and then kind of everything that is not cursed, you see that as like almost like this whitish energy like leave the body, but the thing that is cursed was your shoulder and everything that's going around like your upper pectoral towards your back, like almost where your lung would be. It starts to pulsate, and you feel a horrible sting even within you, like you feel burning, as though alcohol were being put inside your body, just rubbing alcohol. And it starts burning, and immediately Sonya gets her wand out and starts extracting the curse. And when she does, you guys all hear it as flesh gets torn from you, and you start bleeding profusely from that area. And then when the spell gets fully done and casted, you just see it not by your own will, but it just falls off as though skin, and you even see Griswold, you can identify as like that was like almost, and you don't know if it's sure or not, but her arm is moving, so it would not make sense that it's actually this, but as when she pulls it out, it almost looks like a complete reflection of roots and veins, as though even her circulatory system and her blood flow, all that was cursed and removed. Like the entire, like about a foot within your body, everything within here was rotting.
Fuck!
Oh my god.
And now you have a very nice wound.
Yeah.
That's a
I'm
battle
gonna
scar
be
to take home to
screaming, by the
dad.
way. I'm gonna be screaming around the freaking leather.
As you hear muffled screams of pain. For the fun of it, roll me strength.
Okay.
No.
Oh god, force-induced rage?
Bite.
I'm scared?
Bite through that thing.
Let's see.
Wow.
What did you get?
Actually, no, I don't bite through that thing. That is a natural one, but with
Okay.
my strength, yeah, that's a 5 altogether.
It hurts your teeth on how much you're just biting on this. As when this is all said and done, your former maximum HP is back, but your current HP is what your old maximum would have been. What is your
Basically,
current?
you don't heal.
Oh.
Yeah, you do not heal.
You do not heal, but your max HP is
My current HP
Mm-hmm.
is 77
So out of 90s,
out of 98.
out of 98, so your maximum HP is now back to 98, but your current HP is 77.
Okay.
So you can go up.
She can go up. But right now, she just took all that damage.
Yeah. Okay.
So almost 20 points of damage was taken technically with the curse being removed.
Yep.
Ah,
Fuck.
So you guys see that through her clothing, you see blood start trickling down, like her armpit on the
Like,
side of her back.
don't web your wounds.
Alright, roll your wounds.
Level 2. 2d8s, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you almost
what is
maxed.
this? 6 and a 7. 13.
Plus your
Oh.
wisdom.
Does it have a wisdom modifier?
Plus my plus modifier?
It's your spellcasting modifier, which your
Yeah.
ranger should
Oh,
be
is it a
wisdom.
plus whiz?
Yeah.
So it's plus
I thought it was just this.
No, you every cure wounds has plus your spellcasting modifier.
Okay, then it's 13, 16.
You cure for 16 HP.
Oh, nice.
As immediately when that happens, the healing magic for your wand goes, and it starts healing over, but the scar is still there.
You have a sweet scar now.
Can I see it?
Yeah, you can see it.
Does the scar look like the capillaries and stuff being ripped out? So it's got this like root-like consistency to it. That's cool as fuck. Like shit. I have a new idea for a tattoo.
So, guys, don't tell my dad.
Oh, he gonna find out one way or another.
Don't tell my dad.
I'm gonna
I don't know
drag.
how that is a first thing, because it would make total sense for a
Yeah.
teenager. Don't tell my dad I almost died.
Yeah.
Not that we fought
Don't
mummies.
tell my dad.
Or
Kill me.
I love the
almost
scar,
died.
but seriously, don't tell my dad.
Okay, man, we got you.
I'm gonna walk over with the healer's kit, and I don't know if this is gonna extend the use of it or not. It probably will. But and I'm just going to start bandaging the.
If you're going to use your healer's kit and are going to restore HP, then yes.
Okay, then yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Okay.
So I forget what the healer's kit rolls for.
D6 plus their level, I believe.
I think so.
Are you sure you want to do that? You sure?
Yeah, I'll put you back to max. I don't. I've got.
Okay.
I've got like 6
Thank
healer's
you.
kits, and healer's kits have like 5 uses
Yeah.
apiece.
Okay, cool.
So I'm sitting on a lot of them.
Cool.
2 plus what? Level 7.
Yeah.
So heal for 9.
As a
I'm
tourniquet
back
gets
at
put on,
full.
ointments to heal and soothe the inedible stinking and itching, and you have a cool little wrap around you. It feels cool. It's like tingly numbness.
Oh, I feel better, guys. And then I'm gonna go, because it's enough. I'm gonna go to Sonya, to Griswold, and to. Well, no, I'm just gonna go to everybody and go, I love you guys, and give them all hugs.
Every single one of you
Yeah.
gets a hug.
Thank you for saving my life.
Is it a scary Neff hug or
No.
just a basic hug? Because sometimes she could crush you.
Well,
That's up to her.
That's no, just a basic hug.
But all of you guys
Not
do
a bear hug.
How tall
smell
Neff is
Yeah.
5'7".
a little bit of
Okay, so I'm
like
taller than you. So.
a foul odor from her.
Oh.
Yeah, shower girl.
I'll tap her head when she
Point
gives
me
me a
where the water is.
Do
Is-
we think
is-
it's anything
back.
residual or it's just kind of.
Is the removed curse still laying on the floor?
Technically.
Should we kill
Can
that
I put it in a bottle?
or that?
Oh my
How?
god. Can we just burn
Mage hand.
it?
Not entirely.
Not
You-
entire.
like-
Can I put like a
Fire.
cross section of
Yeah,
it in
yeah,
the
you can
bottle?
do that, yeah.
I
Alright,
need to
cool.
burn it.
We
Just
should
gonna.
fire it.
It's actually
Let's
what I'm gonna
burn
do. Burn it.
I have a tinderbox.
I
I want
I'll
to do it
put
because I'm.
I'll,
Fuck you.
I'll,
bottle in parentheses Neff's removed curse. Mummy rot.
I don't know. It's just interesting.
Woo!
It is. It's a very
Until you let it
cool,
go.
unique thing to have. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't say it. I didn't say it. Leon, you said you're gonna, you said you're going to burn it.
No, I was,
Burn the
I was
rest.
saying
Burn the rest.
burn it.
Burn the
burn
rest.
it.
Burn
Oh,
the rest.
you didn't take all of them.
No.
Then yeah, I wanted to burn the rest.
No, I want to burn it.
Then burn it.
Collect.
Okay,
Yeah. I said I want.
get my tinderbox out and burn the rest.
Okay. When
Aren't
you
you
burn
still
it, you
bound?
see that it almost immediately just. We'll say that she got untied because she is
Bitch.
technically still bound.
I flicked my dead skin off.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've seen it.
Fuck
Fuck
you,
you.
dead skin. In 7 years, you'll be old skin. So,
Screw that
Order
skin.
of the Broken Moth. With a Neff curseless, technically
Yay.
curseless at the moment.
One curse.
One
less.
curse. One wanted curse.
You are now back to your base curse modifier, which is 1.
Yay.
If it ever goes up to 2 again, you're gonna be in some trouble.
Yeah.
The information. Yes.
Who knows when you're gonna call? Let me get more than one.
Of course. Information about this necropolis linking with a Greek wizard, and also being labeled as the Foul. So that's like a pretty cool guy. Pretty totally natural name.
Totally natural.
Full day's worth of rest, exploring every inch of this temple. The sun beating on the morning of your 10th day of this expedition. What do we do?
You know, go get some rune spore eggs.
Oh,
So, we-
speaking of which,
We got quest fetching. Fetch
Fetching?
quest.
Fetch
who
I
but
have
if
the
you
letter
forgot,
currently.
I'll just say that everyone can see this. Passive perception. If you have a 13 or higher, you can see this.
Nope.
16.
So you guys are able to see
13.
this.
13.
As everything of the excitement is done, you guys start putting the things back on the camels. You start preparing all the things you need to, putting the kits back where they need to be. Not necessarily leaving the temple, but getting ready for it. As you do see outside, there is a very small brown owl flying in circles.
Well, that ain't good.
Somebody knows about us.
That's
and
not
then
my
in a
owl,
couple of
is it?
seconds, no. In a couple of seconds, you see that it starts like perching on like a mid-range rock within what is surrounding around the.
Is this
Can I look at that? Can I look at that owl and see if it's from a ministry?
I mean, it'd be kind of hard to see if it's specifically Ministry Owl. I mean, the Ministry is the only wizarding organization that does use owls. Other countries and factions use different forms of communication. So, it is definitely from Great Britain.
Owls also aren't native to
The
the region.
sandstorm isn't still going.
The sandstorm is not going. Yeah.
Then
You woke up to it completely gone.
can I go like that?
Sure.
Are we outside already?
No,
Oh.
you're still within the temple, and there's still technically a bridge that you guys have to walk.
Like the owl is outside.
So the owl is outside of the temple, outside of the bridge. Just like maybe out to like 200 feet, and you can see him. He's just flying.
I'm gonna get my camera
And then
and I'm gonna walk out.
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna walk out and see what that owl
Send
was.
some
Basically.
notes to our benefactor. Messages with Sonya.
She sent Newt one.
No.
Yeah,
Send you
no,
a message, yeah.
We didn't sending anything to the ministry saying, hey, we're gonna do this job, but let us get closer to the region first. So this is probably the owl that's saying, hey, what's the holdup? Like, come on, we got some eggs here, dog.
Yeah.
So
True, but we did send one to Dumbledore when we were trying to find some information. We were back in the Egypt.
did you? What did you send?
Do you have sending? I thought.
No, I was with Sonya.
You sent an owl? Oh.
We went to the a straight post office is what we had to do.
Oh yeah, they
That was
they
a
went to the
while
post
ago.
office at one point and they sent a post.
That
What
was
was,
the
before we
unseen
started
servant.
Yeah,
reading,
yeah.
though.
what was the letter?
It was trying to get some words to my brother and then ask about what we could anticipate for Sonya's death sentence, if you will. She'd die if she's in Egypt, because we had immediately encountered the Medusa
Oh yeah.
hunters and we didn't know what
Which you technically haven't received anything back, but Sonya's not dead.
I just remembered that. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm glad she's not. Yay! She's saving all our butts.
I mean, technically, we're also not in Egypt anymore, so now the
It's
prophecy
true.
can't be fulfilled.
So.
I was just thinking immediately, ooh, ow, maybe it's
Yeah.
him.
Is there anything that you guys want to do before exiting the temple?
Not really.
Okay.
No.
Just pack up.
As
We've pretty much raided the whole thing.
As you guys walk towards the bridge, I
With
do
the
need
camels.
with the camels
Okay.
and the extra camel that you guys were given by Unsami. I need a Constitution saving throw from everybody.
Can we take a magical picture? A postcard? I don't even know if that would happen.
Technically, you can, but does anyone have a camera?
No.
16.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Yeah,
This is our.
16?
No.
Constitution.
Constitution saving throw.
Oh, sorry.
Apparently, the entire game is just Constitution saving throws.
That is a thing.
Sonya, what did you get?
A nat 20 plus 3.
Okay. Jericho?
Yes. 16.
Okay. Grizzy?
8.
All right.
18.
Okay, so as soon as you guys step towards the edge of it, a very, very odd sensation. You guys see sand start piling upwards, but you feel as though you're falling. So what you're seeing is complete contrast to what is actually happening, as you are technically rising up, but everything's the opposite feeling. As sand starts pouring down, and you don't really feel like you're moving, but almost as if the entire world is moving. As sand starts filling back into the spots that didn't have sand, and you guys are back, stepping a couple of feet off of where the temple was, and seeing just the rubble and the ruins that you once saw, buried many, many, many hundred feet within sand. With your 8, you feel nauseous.
I already feel nauseous as a player, so I guess,
Well then, roleplay accordingly.
yeah.
But everyone else is like, whoa, this is a weird roller coaster ride, and then back to
Done.
I mean, Grizz already doesn't like flying. He likes having his feet planted on the ground, seeing the entire world go upside down for a second there. Yeah, that could be disconcerting to him.
So, there is an owl that as soon as you guys come up and the effects of the temple go away, see the owl kind of like, almost like if it got a ping, and then just starts making a beeline towards whoever is at the front. Tagging should be everybody except for Leon.
Oh. Oh.
So, whoever's at the front except for Leon.
Gotcha.
Does anyone want to volunteer?
It'll be me, yeah.
Then an owl is going to fly on you. It's a very tiny guy, and he has a little note on his mouth.
Okay. I take the note and I read it.
He poops off of your hand.
Yay!
And on you. He flies away.
Yay!
Yes, protein.
Technically, you didn't get pooped on, you just pooped outside of you. But
I
like,
thought you
as-
had to pay them. Did you pay the owls?
Not
No, it's only like
Flies away.
post owls,
Yeah.
not like actual
Okay.
public servant owls.
I take the note, I read it.
Okay.
Does it have a seal on it? Or
It does technically have a seal.
is it?
It is a ministry seal.
Great.
Uh-oh. We got nailed down. Okay.
So, as the
The
lecture
attached mission
read,
failed.
upon the end of the 10th day, all non-signed contracts will be terminated. Best luck, wizards and witches. And then it has the ministry logo at the bottom.
It is today the 10th day.
Today's the 10th day.
Okay. Guys, we have to sign this stuff and get there. Like, we gotta, if we're doing this, we gotta do it now. But I want that money.
Alright, I'm gonna pull out this letter.
How far do you still have to go?
It is a 40-day trip. You are on 30 more days worth of travel.
Fuck.
Okay. So after we sign it, on our 10 days, we have 30 days to get there. And they're not going to be hatched? I don't know.
According to the information that you guys got earlier, it will not hatch unless it's in proper condition to hatch. Which is why you don't know.
Does the letter do anything when I sign it?
Are you using magical?
I would do
pure
arcanic ink.
You would need magical ink. If you just sign it with zero points, nothing happens. You need. It triggers back to when you were in class and you need a special ink, not to cheat.
Gotcha.
So anyone who has arcanic ink, which is anyone who can jot down scrolls or copy
You're
information.
not signing it?
That would be
I'm not-
Sonya.
I'm not-
Me also, I believe.
Yeah,
Oh, that's fair.
I would say that any
Yeah.
student would
I
have.
thought about it. It was like
Okay.
roleplay wise, Leo's not gonna
Sure.
sign it.
Fair. Sonya
Even
and
though that's sweet
Jericho.
money.
Do you hereby authorize consent for a third party to bear witness to your imaginary signature on this until you can actually get around to signing it?
Get it to the notary.
With your arcanic ink.
As
Yes? They said yes?
And so they.
Sonya and
Are you really signing blooding it? Oh my god.
Are you serious?
Jericho signs in blood.
Of course.
I mean, that's how they'll know it's him.
oh my god.
Where's
Sonya
really
I don't have a
put
red
blood
ink.
on it,
red.
Jericho?
Use the red board.
Oh, yeah, just take the...
That's Jericho's signature.
You guys use the appropriate ink and you sign it. You see that the letter folds itself and it's kind of floating in the air as the
There.
bird comes back, picks it up, and flies off.
Okay. Oh,
You guys get to keep that.
okay.
That's your
Memento.
problem. As you
So
guys.
do we need to stay here to wait for the delivery? Or do we just keep going?
I'm gonna look to Sonya and be like, you're the one that can telepathically communicate across literal continents.
You guys have worked with the ministry before, the owl will find you. As long as you don't have anything to prevent being tracked.
I'm trying to account for delayed travel time for an owl literally traveling over the Mediterranean, over Europe, back to
These
the
are
UK.
magically fast owls.
So it's gonna get there before the end of the 10th day, correct?
What's already the
Well,
10th
We need
day?
to.
Right.
Let's
but-
just start moving now.
Okay.
It just goes through a port key.
Let's just keep going.
It's very weird, and JK needs to explain that to me. How these owls can travel all over the world. please.
So quickly.
Please,
Look at my
thank you.
map.
Well, you gotta realize that
They have
the
bag
books
of
never
food
really
powder.
went out of the UK, so it stood to reason that
It's the magical
We
world.
know that the
Owls are magical, that's it.
Look at my map
we know
and
that
then
the
head to
Weasleys went
wherever
to
we're
Egypt
going.
though on
Okay.
vacation, so they did.
Where are we going?
does he have
you
a
guys are
sense
going
of
to-
direction?
Oh yeah, he's a ranger. That's
Okay.
kind of his job.
Okay,
yeah.
fair.
We're like, that was like, where are we going?
Technically, you're still within your natural terrain because you're going to a
Yeah.
different type of desert, but you're still within the desert. So lucky you.
I'm just
So-
gonna look to Leon and be like, point me towards the
We're not
goddamn
slowed down.
trees.
Which, taking the point of the Nile,
Difficult terrain doesn't slow the group. So, yeah.
that is really cool. Roll me a general survival check. Leo.
Me?
Yes.
Leon. Survival. I'm not proficient.
No.
As a
I
ranger.
am.
I am for some insane reason.
But, god damn it.
There is a phone that is vibrating on
Yeah, it was, it's 12.
12. Okay.
You're not proficient in it, and you said
No, I have a plus wisdom.
He's not that type
Oh,
of
that's
ranger, I guess.
nice.
No, it's a 9. Yeah, I thought it
I
was
thought
a
it was
6.
6 too.
So 12 total.
That's, yeah.
Okay.
I have to think
Alright.
about it and we're like, no, that's
Okay.
okay.
So, by almost nightfall, you would get an owl. It's kind of flying by, but this owl is a huge, huge barn owl, and you can see that it's flying super slow, and it looks extremely tired, and it's flying, carrying something really heavy. It kind of weighs out and it comes up, weighs down and comes back up, weighs down and
That
comes
poor
back up.
guy.
Yeah, like legitimately. Oh my god, that chest looks 3 times as big as the owl itself.
I'm gonna stop my camel and get down off said camel. Spyroll's still riding on my shoulder
Yeah,
the
yeah, of
entire
course,
time.
of course.
And I'm just going to try and like wave to the owl and then point directly in front of me.
See, the owl kind of just drops it there. And if you guys could communicate with owl, the hoot sounds almost like "thank you," and kind of just flies away.
It's like I'm done.
Like I'm done with this shit. And as you guys approach whatever is in here, I don't have the mini for it, and I'll get it on break because it's very important. There is a chest, a large chest. That when you grab it, it's heavier than you think. Way heavier than what an owl should be able to carry. But any one of you can pick it up if you want. Maybe like 50 pounds or so. Which, if you guys remember, the rune egg should weigh more than what's in here. It's more than 1 rune egg. But on the side,
It's a
taped
chest
with
of
rope,
holding.
you see that there is a small bag. Like a leather pouch.
Okay, I'm going to take the leather pouch and look inside
When
it.
you look inside, there will be
This is a minor bag of
1,
holding, isn't
2, 3, 4, 5. So there is 50 platinum, I believe, in the bag.
it? Okay, cool. I'm gonna keep it all for myself.
No.
No,
If I recall correctly, which I'll look at my notes in a minute. But
Jess is just watching Griswold and she's
I'm
got
totally.
a smile.
I'm
You
not the rogue.
he
I
can
know.
carry it, but he's like,
She's-
Wait, that's the money?
no,
Well,
that's where the eggs
There-
are.
Oh, that's the eggs.
Yeah, and you see that there is a large lock in it. The chest looks pretty mundane, but it definitely has arcanic ruins on the side.
Okay.
Anyone that can read them, there are a lot of protection, enlargement
Oh, wait, where's
spells.
the letter going?
Ah.
Like,
Let's see
I'm-
how much
I'm curious.
it is per person.
Just a little curious too, like, would I know if it's safe to put it on the bag of holding? Just with eggs
I
on it?
don't think it would fit in the entry point for the bag.
I think, depending on the bag of holding that you're using, a lot of you also almost filled up. It's 50 cubic feet, and a lot of you guys have a lot of things in
I
there.
don't have a lot of things. 'cause
If
I
you
just
don't,
How much
then
space
probably.
does 4 healers kits occupy? Virtually nothing.
Yeah, I would say healer's kit would be
Like-
probably something about maybe like an inch or two bigger than this.
like not
So,
Mine's relatively empty.
yeah.
off like not really.
I like
game
We have-
wise,
3.5 bag of holdings because it said specific amount of weight. That's it. This one's in cubic feet. So it's a little bit harder to manage.
I thought it was like 50 cubic feet, 500 pounds.
Okay, if it is 500 pounds, then it's a little bit easier to do 500 pounds. So this box will weigh about 50 pounds.
Because basically my bag of holding has my broom,
Mm-hmm.
my 2 short swords, my whip.
Yeah, both of y'all sounds like they would
Yeah, I got
definitely
4
be able to.
healers, kits, a potion of healing, and as Griswold is looking
My
through his
arrows.
bag, he goes, "Son of a bitch!" And then to himself, "I need another human skeleton."
Those are very specific things that people do need, yes.
Ness is gonna look at this and look at the extra camel and be like, why don't we just put this on the camel? 50 pounds. Should be able to carry it.
Want to make the camel tired?
I mean, it's carrying us. We went with 50 pounds.
Yeah. The lightest one of you
And then
weighs more than 50 pounds.
then we can keep an eye on it in case something goes wrong.
I'm just thinking that it might be safer out of sight.
So you guys, what do you guys want to do?
Well, I mean, counterpoint. If the chest is magically enchanted with something, which is what I assume, and this is meta a little bit, but maybe it's enchanted with something that that keeps the eggs in sort of a habitat where they wouldn't be
Which,
inclined to hatch.
I think someone was talking about, I just said if you are able to read arcanic writing,
Yeah.
so anyone that can read a scroll or anyone that has any spells, which most of you would be, there are protective enchantments on it. There's a enlarge/reduce enchantment on it, and there is a temperature gauge enchantment on it.
Okay.
Common Arabic, Vila, and Parcel Tongue, and hieroglyphics. That doesn't help you.
No, unfortunately.
Sonya, comprehend
Sonya-
languages.
Sonya is able to read it, and most of you guys, with schooling being fresh, you can at least discern this between all 7 of you guys communicating with each other.
Okay.
Never mind, don't comprehend languages.
So,
So it's got a temperature gauge on it, so I feel like we should be able to, at least for a little while, look at this, keep an eye on it, and if something starts to go awry or something, we can figure
Yeah.
out a plan from there.
And I don't want to go reaching into my bag of holding one day and get bit by one of these things.
No,
so,
you don't.
well, you would know that if
Yeah.
something happens and something comes out of into your bag of holding, 1, it will occupy the space, and 2,
The space is a vacuum, so it'll just die immediately.
there is no oxygen and no pressure within it. Very perfect place to preserve corpses. Like creepy, perfect place to preserve corpses.
Yeah. That's why I was asking.
Like
would
really
I know-
creepy, but a bag of holding is a great way to preserve a corpse for a long amount of time.
That's why I was asking.
Now I need
would
pockets
would I
already.
know if it's safe for the eggs to be in the
It
bag
was a
of holding?
pocket skeleton you went.
The eggs would not be safe within a bag of holding.
Then
Yeah, that's the other
Yeah,
point.
that's
I
what I
was
was
gonna bring up.
asking.
If there's no air and no pressure,
If they're out of wherever they are, because you can put food in it, as long as the food is wrapped in something else. Whenever the food is completely exposed to the outer sphere of the bag of holding, then we have problems. That's
No,
why
I
you
was
were able to
asking-
put stuff in it, but that stuff needs to be out of something.
no, I
Like,
was-
if it can
I was asking the
deteriorate-
chest.
The chest,
The
you can
chest
probably
with
put the
eggs,
chest in there, yeah.
That's what I was wondering.
Yeah. But other conversations I've had,
Yeah.
so it's up to you guys what you want to do with it.
The incubator makes me think like, or the temperature gauge makes me think it's an incubator or something.
Yeah.
it's something regulating.
I think we should be able to keep an eye on it for at least a little while, and if something starts changing on it, we can immediately know. And if you want, like, I could just check this, like, as we're going every hour or something. Like, have the camel right next to me and I'll
I'm
just
about it.
check it. Okay.
So, as you guys strap the heavy but not incredibly heavy chest upon the next camel, I will let you know when we can do this during break, depending on how much food you have. The next days or so that we're going to travel. If anyone wants to do anything specific between this, we're going to fast travel a couple of days.
Okay.
And every single one of these days would be, depending on how many rations you have, 5 silver per day of food. That's food and water.
Nah, fam, we're juggling good berry.
Good berries is going to help a lot.
I
So-
have tons of rations. We could use some of mine. It's fine.
Yeah. So we'll discuss that on break because
Yeah.
we don't want to bore the audience with too much nitty gritty things like that, and we just kind of start late. But to describe our current journey.
Before, can I just say that every day, or I guess before we sleep, in the morning I'm going to cast alarm around the box just to make
Okay.
sure nothing else enters that area or something.
I think that's
For
a
all
really,
of us.
really cool idea. Yeah. All right. Perfect.
I had a stupider idea. I was just gonna put spine roll on top of the box and tell him, hey, if it does any funky shit, just start yelling.
He might punch it. No.
Yeah, that's fair.
Oh wow. Okay.
Uh-oh.
I'm gonna leave that right there.
Did you roll 100 on percentile?
No, I rolled a 96.
Oh, that's really close to
I was
100.
thinking,
Yeah.
how well is your trip going to go? So,
Okay.
20 days is gonna go by.
Okay.
Are we in the mountains now?
Technically, you're very close to jungle.
No, but I mean, is it this forest?
Guys,
You guys
I
are going to
smell
go
it.
through Sahara, and then thin jungle, thin forest. After passing many zones and small hills covered in sands, you guys start seeing small hills and stones covered with greenery. First uneven patches, then very thick patches, going through different Muggle villages and cities, through wizard villages and cities, getting food where you need to, sleeping where you need to, getting supplies, managing your camels every now and then. A very friendly, pleasant 20 days. Many hardworking individuals seeing that you guys have been traveling a lot, seeing the clothing you guys had, the wear and tear on your faces and clothes, and when the wizards would see other people with wands traveling by, aid was given. You guys passed or heard of giraffes stampeding. You guys saw a couple of young elephants charging each other to see who was the bigger man, and none actually made contact. You did encounter one rainy day, but it went very fast. The entire village of that night was extremely pleased and celebrated with dance and song. Tasting different palettes in your foods, from different grains and pastes and breads, to different seasonings, cooked plantains, exotic soups that you would call, but it's just everyday food for them. Savory seeded dishes. A very nice couple of days. Upon technically entering
we
the
reached the
Congo,
town.
you are technically right now in the Congos.
Okay.
So you pass throughout the entire Sudan with little incident, nothing
Okay.
really. Your camels were treated well. You had adequate protection. The alarm spells, the enchantment that you guys have been casting, keeping an eye on it, making sure that nothing happened with the box, completely unmoved, almost uneventful, really. Just sharing time with friends, camping under the sun. You technically would probably have gone a day with moonlight, drinking your potion. Perfectly fine, normal evening. We're on day 22, so 8 days before the 40-day trip. So about 8 days before you actually reach your specific point, as traveling within the Congo. Thick forest. Many.
How does Griswold
Huh?
Oh, you don't want to know, man.
Griswold is
He's
enthralled.
Griswold
and
is
hungry.
practically dancing on top of his camel. I am talking like he is having a mini rave on top of his thing, like right now. Like he's just like, there's green stuff. Oh my god, yes.
With on the second day of you guys traveling in here, and being within the forest area, as I'm trying so hard for my computer to listen to me, and it's doing the exact opposite of what it
Oh,
wants to
and
do.
I want to note something for the DM on the off chance he wants to spitball with it. The first time Griswold sees green, he's going to cast Speak with Plants and ask them what's up. and then as we get closer to our general area, he's
Okay.
just going to like once a day cast Speak with Plants and then talk to the oldest looking thing around and see if anything strange has been occurring in the area. Don't know if you can work with it, but
To be honest, as you cast that every single day, very oddly uneventful. And you take that as a notion of peace.
Is there any like small critters?
There's definitely critters around, especially now where you guys are. It is filled with animal life.
Like
You
whenever-
hear a cascade of different birds singing different songs to mark their own territory. You would see a couple of small apes looking at you guys very, very curiously. It is full of life.
Yeah.
They definitely know that you're there and your presence because you're humans in not a natural territory. So a lot of them will not approach unless they want to approach and investigate, such as birds and
No, it's
big,
just
smaller
whenever,
apes.
just whenever we take a rest
Okay.
for the night or something, I was gonna let Kuskru hunt for food.
I'm sure that he will come back with a very nice small
Yeah, for him, basically.
rodent that
It's
is
for him.
pleasant for him. But before we go on break, 8 days of you going to taking a destination that really has no actual map. You know how to get to the Congo, and you are here. But
do we
where?
know specifically where we're?
No.
What did it say in the letter? Right?
The letter does not have that information.
Okay.
So on the rest of that night, so everyone is taking our full rest for the evening. Sonya,
Oh.
oh boy, here we go.
Secret messages.
in your sleep,
Oh.
as you hear footsteps first, and you think that this is someone walking in on you, but your alarm spell was not triggered, so you're very worried and you quickly just grab your wand. And then you notice that you're in the same spot that you were sleeping in, and if you focus really hard, you can see your friends around you. But the second thing you don't focus on, you just see almost as if your mind is filling in what the tree should look like. And every now and then you notice that something's not there when you look at it, and then it is there. And you see a man walking towards you, very beautifully dressed robes. On next to him, you see a elegant long-legged cheetah. You see that on his arms he has golden bracers. Both of them, he has uneven number of golden rings on his fingers. Beautifully, almost smoothless chocolate skin, bald man, like beautiful eyes, as he's walking barefoot, and he's approaching you. And you see that he has something within his hand. It looks like akin to a coin. And he's walking towards you. What do you do, Sonya?
He hasn't said anything, have they?
No, he's just walking towards you. There's a cheetah next to
He
him.
had a coin in his hand?
Yeah, he has a coin in his hand.
Cast Fireball.
Okay, Ferris.
You do have your wand.
I'm
Please
gonna,
don't actually cast Fireball.
no, I'm gonna just open my hands and be like, is that for me? It's just,
As when you move your hands and open, you said he takes a step back and his eyes are like looking very wide-eyed. Sorry, do you see me?
yeah, it's done all.
It's incredible apologies. This is definitely a first. Albert said that you guys were talented, but not this talented.
Happy to surprise you.
As, you even see that his cheetah kind of does that cat thing, like
Oh, little head.
yeah, and it kind of looks towards his wizard, and like they're both astonished that you are talking to them in this what you're
Assuming is a dream
Assuming,
state?
yeah, exactly. Assuming it's a dream state. Within
So good.
the,
We're all resting, and so we don't.
you don't know if
see
this is
her.
happening. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing. None of
Is
this
she
is.
running in her sleep?
I mean, whatever she wants to do, she can do.
I think that's more Jericho.
Yeah, that'll be different. In the Wagadu School of Witches and Wizards, dream stepping is how I usually communicate with my students. Name is Baja Gingba. I am the headmaster of school. It's going to give you a map to where you need to go. Your ministry has spoken to me and told me of your mission. So here you go.
Say again?
One more time?
Say again?
Say again what? That was a bit of exposition.
Yeah. He is the minister of the Wagadu School of Magic. He's been told of your mission by the Ministry of Magic, and he is offering to give you a map and hands you a coin.
Okay, I'll take the map.
As the map is so it's a coin, but it has a chip on the bottom. I'm almost making like a V. And when you get close to the Moon Mist Mountains, it'll tell you where to go.
What mountain?
Moon Mist
Mist.
Mountain.
Give me a bad feeling there. I have a gut
Moon
feeling
Mist.
I know why you named it Moon Mist Mountains.
I didn't name it J.K. Rowling named them. I changed the name a little bit, but it's technically like the Moon Mountains.
You realize Moon Mist is a card in Magic the Gathering that forcibly transforms all humans into werewolves if they are werewolves, right?
No dabbing DM.
And since you drop instant too, it's really busted.
Werewolves are pretty cool.
Yeah.
But we don't know this.
Nope.
As he looks at you, as he hands you the coin, do you grab the coin?
Yes.
Okay. As soon as you do, he starts turning back, and then about halfway.
No, before he turns back, I'm gonna be like, can I pet your cheetah?
You may. You see the cat kind of goes over, like looking like, "Dad." and then the wizard bows his head, so the cat also bows their head, and you start petting it, and she's really soft.
You go like that?
You do hear a very deep, hollow,
Yeah.
like
For sure.
as you're enjoying the pets and you hear the hollow purrs in your own dream. So this is your dream. You also, half of the trees also start like vibrating with the imitation of the purrs. And as he keeps walking, as the cat still stays there for you to pet, till we meet again. Hambakinle. And he just leaves.
Yeah.
And
I like the music for this.
and we will be back in 15 minutes, guys.
Ah!
Yeah. So we'll be back in. Let's do 10. We'll be back in 10.
Okay.
Hey, yo, Vic. I've got the new script you sent us for the next episode. So we have new players. Who's Grayson? You know who that is?
Yeah, I'm reading that too. What's this? Tori Val? Tori Val?
So we have new players.
New players?
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, dude. So it also says that the schedule's changed. We're playing on Mondays now.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, what happened to Tuesday?
That'll team out Tuesday.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, well.
Okay.
Okay.
And just one last little thing.
And it's online now?
Yeah, that. So we're not playing in the studio anymore. It's all online.
Uh-huh.
All right, man. That fucking works for me. All right. Cool. See you later. Bye.
My car.
Okay. So, on technically what this would be the 32nd day of our trip, waking up to the extremely humid, not as hot as you would anticipate, jungle. Rainforest, technically, sorry. What do we do?
Eat
What time is it?
breakfast.
I always
7 in the morning.
Okay.
First thing I'm gonna do is check the temperature gauge on the chest.
I mean, there's just writings on it.
Oh,
The writings are still there.
okay.
Sure.
I mean, as long as everything still looks normal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is everybody still like kind of sleeping or anything?
Yeah, technically everybody's still sleeping. We have a extremely sleepier Sony than usual.
Because if that's what's gonna happen, I was gonna kind of look at wildlife and see if there's any game.
You would have to go out and try to look for
Yeah.
it.
Like, do you voice this to the party that you were gonna?
In a way, yeah. Whoever's awake.
Who's awake?
I guess I'm gonna hear that.
Wait.
Roll over, reach into bag of folding, pull out bird color stuff, and I can make this really trivial for you if you want.
Do I know what that is?
It's a staff with
I
a bird
acquired
on
it
it.
before he.
Yeah, it's a
entered.
staff with a bird on it.
It's like, what is that?
Here, watch. Trigger.
Alright, as a very
Because
beautiful.
Jeremiah knows it. It's just my owl.
Yeah, your owl is going to be attracted to it.
That's what I
Your
know.
owl immediately flies over to where the staff is, like almost like a bend, and you go into where Griswold is, as a sea of gray parrots and small, colorful birds and finches and other debris of within the parrot family just start like hundreds of birds, just all around.
Murder summoned.
Like, there is a total of
Is there a 5-foot red bird?
196 birds that fly. and
Good.
flock
Yes.
to you.
Grief. I was like, what did you do?
And then, like, you guys are, as some of you are waking up to just a shit ton of birds just around, flying everywhere.
Cacophonious noise.
Technically, the birds has been out by now, so we're like, I don't want to be in a horror movie.
Yeah. So
there's African
birds.
gray parrots?
Yeah, it's African gray parrots.
Hell yeah.
They're
Oh
fucking
my god,
beautiful.
they're one of my favorites.
I know, right? They're fucking gorgeous.
But they're all exotic birds. I don't want to shoot them.
Oh, I'm gonna look and be like, wait, you don't eat these?
Do you want to eat these?
I mean,
No, they talk.
You're like, while I get ready my arrow because.
I mean, it's
There's
up to
a
you, man.
lot of birds here.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to miss. You're gonna hit something. Like,
Can't you just find a big pheasant or quail or something?
they're not native to the region.
What is the most less exotic bird that's here?
There is a very bland. There is a very annoyingly green flightless bird with a huge dumb pecker that goes right up to you,
Oh,
Griswold, and
no.
starts humping your foot. You kind of kick it off, and it kind of flies, and then the next person that will be closest to you, I guess, is Leon. So he goes right into humping your foot and pecking at you. And you look at it, and you've seen, you're a ranger, you've had experience it. It is a very specific bird that has no predators where it lives, and so it has nothing to fear, and literally tries to fuck everything.
I'm gonna go call Cruise Crew.
Flies over to you.
Kick the bird out.
All right, it's about this big, so it's a plump little guy, and you guys, I guess, as soon as Sonya, she's not here yet, but whoever the next in line to wake up, you wake up to, as an arrow just goes through a bird, like, oh my god.
I had rations, guys.
Like, do we need more?
I think
What'd you do?
What is the conversion rate of one weird-looking bird that wants to hump everything into 1 day's rations?
We'll say it's a one meal for you guys, one day's worth of rations, yeah.
I'm just gonna look up at the cacophonious amount of birds that I've created and be like, I wonder what I'm eating this morning, Thornwhip.
And then as Neff's like, I have all this.
I have all these rations! We have food for you!
What did
Are
I
you doing
hit?
that?
Yes.
Okay.
What did I hit, Jesus? I will let you roll for it.
Something beautiful that's gonna get us a
Roll me percentile.
Griswold. Damn it. Can I bring out my snake staff?
Sure.
Holy fuck!
God.
I hit 100.
Did you?
000, baby. I hit it on the most useless thing I could have possibly hit it on, but yeah, that's 100.
Holy crap.
Did you hit
100.
Uh-huh.
You fucking hit a flamingo. You were not
I was aiming up!
I know you were, but somehow the stupid flamingo's head got in the way, and you immediately just choked it. 100. Oh, it's dead.
Thornwood does damage, and these things have less, like, base health.
You got 100? We went extreme on that one.
I pull the flamingo over and I go, huh. Maybe it'll taste good. I don't know.
There's a couple of hornbill birds there too, I guess. Just ugly little beak things.
Toucans.
There's two.
There's toucans. They're not really, the edible variety of bird, but they're adorable.
There's a couple little falcons. There's a couple of vultures there too. But there's a dead flamingo. And a dead little almost going extinct quail little thing. In our world, in our times, almost extinct. Technically, dodos do live here, and there are magical creatures in this world.
Yep.
Dodos are
magical ones?
Yeah.
Dodos are magical creatures that the Ministry of Magic has taken because they just turn invisible and disappear. That is their ability.
Yeah.
So humans think they're extinct, but they're just really stupid. It's
Yep.
the Ministry of Magic's like,
Yoink.
and I'm pretty sure Newt has like the biggest farm of them that he has to
does.
take care of.
I'm gonna look over to Leon and be like, hey, Ranger, buddy, is this edible? And I'm just gonna hold it up on the end of the thorn whip and be like,
Is Flamingo
Did they?
Yeah.
DM?
All animals are edible.
was like.
Depending on how you cook it, yes.
When I went,
Oh no! When Neff screamed "Get out of here!" you just hear.
As the birds all scatter.
Yeah.
Like, well, there goes our buffet.
And I brought out my snake staff.
I have.
There's a-
here we go.
Roll me percentile.
I have so many rations. We're not gonna eat the snakes. We just.
I might eat a snake.
Don't get a snake.
Oh my god.
Roll percentile. I want to see if something specifically comes up.
If it's deadly cobra.
I swear to God, we hit 200s in a row.
Ooh, I got a 69.
Nice.
Yay! Hey!
What is a sexy snake? A
Oh,
couple of
man.
pythons and like green
Ooh.
constrictors start coming out, and one massive
Viper.
anaconda just starts swirling its way around you. Kind of like circles around you and then starts moving away if you don't tell it anything to do.
Can I talk to it?
Yeah,
Can
can
you talk
I?
to it?
Yeah, I would like to.
You got
help.
our-
Yeah,
you
we
do-
got 2 parcel tongues in the party now.
Yeah, but I think the staff helps you talk to him if you.
If
don't
you do
have
not have parcel tongue, the staff will give you parcel tongue.
Yeah.
As long as you are tuned to the staff, yes.
Wait, can my bird girl? Can I communicate with birds with that thing?
I don't know, what does it say?
I don't know. I just wrote down bird color staff when I got the damn thing. I don't think I even have a stat thing for it.
I think yours specifically just calls birds, hers gives them parcel tongue.
Ah.
Yeah.
Because I was about to be like, if my staff lets me talk to birds, the only thing I've been using it
I was
for is
actually-
flipping stuff.
I was actually with that. I was actually gonna ask the snakes if.
Well,
Oh,
what
no.
you call them, so you have a free range and then you can communicate
Yeah.
with one of them. Who do you, the python, the constrictor, or the anaconda?
I want to ask the anaconda if he knows where the rune spores are in the area.
I was gonna do the same thing, but.
Assuming he knows, they're kind of snakish, aren't they?
Yeah, I
Yes.
mean, technically are snakes, yeah.
Yeah.
They're legitimately magical snakes. Roll me persuasion.
Ooh, that is not
Oh,
what
yeah,
I have.
Snakes are
Can I-
deceptive.
I have
Can
deception.
I give her a
I do
I mean,
not
if you wanna
persuasion.
Can I give her advantage on that? Since that's
Uh,
exactly what I was gonna do too.
Sure, yeah.
Wait, why am I rolling?
As you start
percentiles?
speaking parcel tongue, you see Leon also speaking parcel tongue and
I am
give
You
you
have
this.
advantage.
Eyeballing this anaconda, and then I'm offering it the flamingo.
Oh no, I'll give you the small bird. No, not the flamingo. That's bigger.
It has already eaten.
Huh?
It's not hungry. It's not taking it.
Oh, okay.
I got a
They don't eat
21.
very often. 21?
Yes. I did it.
Talking.
That's probably what you're hearing. The mother is taking care of them. Just go up the mountain.
Okay, thank you. I would be scared.
Why did they not do?
Yeah.
Kind of want to pet the anaconda, but I don't.
I mean, you can pet the end of the tail of it as it slithers away, like, ooh. Kind of stops looking
Pet
and
the
just
shaft.
So,
When we're talking massive anaconda, are we talking like from the movie Anaconda?
But aren't,
no, that would be a
aren't some
magical.
anacondas
This will be like
pretty
16
smart,
feet.
Aren't they?
16?
Yeah,
Mhm.
which is still,
That's a pretty girthy snake, though.
Yeah.
Like,
But the bigger snakes actually are really smart, aren't they? They
Mhm.
have bigger brains, I guess, so they.
snakes are intelligent individuals.
Yep.
So, with your freshly killed fat humpy quail, and I don't know the name of it. I think it starts with the D as well, but it's not a dodo. And your anaconda. And your flamingo. Information from our anaconda friend, having our rations. For the sake of us having to move along, even though Sonya's not here. Roll me a dexterity, everybody. Not dex save, just dexterity.
Ooh.
Let's see who gets the higher number.
Jericho.
I mean, I'm
Do we
sure it's gonna
want-
be Jericho, but
Do
we'll
we
see.
want to even roll? We
It's
know that.
Dexy boy.
I'd argue you didn't roll that with intent.
Yeah. I was
Or that one.
12.
12, okay.
It's lower. I
Did you-
should have taken that.
Can you beat 12? 15, can you beat 15?
Is
19.
19, can you
I'm
beat
at
19?
8.
Jericho, can you beat a 19?
Even though I'm a dex fighter, but I have an 8.
22?
22.
Hell yeah, alright.
Somebody did
So,
222.
as
I came in second to
you
the
guys
row.
quickly hear a a ding 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 ding, and something starts moving, like floating there, and you try grabbing it, Griswold, but it kind of slips out of your hand, and Jericho just grabs it, and it's a coin, and it looks like with very minimal force, but it starts to move almost out of your fingers. Kind of have to grab it again. Starts like pull, and you kind of just put your hand, and you see it floating in the air, just going like this. Not enough force to hurt or anything, but there is a key floating and moving in a specific direction. Coin, yes, coin. Sorry,
It's a coin.
It's
a
not
coin.
one
That's the
that-
correction.
It's a coin that has a V cut, and the V shape is pointing towards where it's moving.
Can Sonya tell us about
Jeremiah.
this?
Sure. As soon as she wakes up from her very exhausting dream that she had,
Yeah,
it's just super exhausting,
From
so tiring.
like,
So tired.
Jeremiah thinks that's a way coin or something in that sense. Leon doesn't know that.
Oh,
That's
Jericho, you
gonna
have a
go.
coin.
Don't let go of that. That looks important.
I'm just gonna look at it and be like, did I eat some weird plant recently and now I'm hallucinating a coin flying through the air? And I don't know, like,
What's up?
I'm just gonna continue cleaning my burden.
So,
I'm just going to quietly
Okay.
hang
Every time you kind of like
I don't
test it
know how
out,
to
you see
press
that it
this.
moves. You kind of catch it. Then you can like move it back if you really want to. Like it really has no force, but if nothing is weighing it down, it will start moving in a specific path. You do trace it back to where Sonya was. So like it moved as though if it flew away from Sonya's possession.
Huh.
Can you wear it as a necklace?
Yeah, that would make sense.
Sure.
Does that have a hole that you can put a chain through?
No, but it does have a little V shape that you can kind of like tie a string to. Sure, that's
I'll do that.
Alright, yes, you attach a
That way
string
it
to
just
it,
goes like this
and
and
the
pulls
necklace
it.
kind of like pulls at you and is pulling it almost in the same direction. Wherever you move, is pulling in the same exact direction. So, like, turn around, it's just gonna move and point in the same direction.
I'm just understanding, like, I don't know what to do with
I
this.
mean, let's be fair.
Like, you could easily put it in a shirt.
Actually,
It's gonna poke a little bit, but it won't be like hanging out.
Living creatures.
We don't
Some
even know
dead
which
ones.
ones are okay
Like,
to
what
eat.
is that? Where did you get that?
That's awesome.
Yeah, now I just have more questions for the Sleeping Beauty over here. I'm going
It was
to.
just in the sky, so it's kind of
Well, the anaconda said,
And as we come on this revelation, I'm just going to boop her with the bird collar staff I still have out and be like, "Where'd you get that?"
I honestly
As if Josh, you want to translate what's been happening to
I
Steph,
wanted to ask.
or I could do it. Yeah.
Do you
So,
want- no.
Steph. The coin that was given to you in your sleep, as though it is very close to breakfast time and you're still asleep, the exhausting dream that you had. The coin moved out of your hand and is floating in the air. Jericho caught it, and the coin is pointing in the direction. You probably put a string on it, so but whatever you move it, as he currently is having it as a necklace, it points in the direction you need to go. From what you know from your dream, everybody else just sees a coin just trying to get somewhere.
I thought I was hallucinating it at first.
I thought it was
Yeah, I'm gonna wake up until everything goes off.
Sure. Now you know everything that happened.
Most importantly, the cheetah.
Very amounts of detail on the cheetah, its paw prints, how nice she was, how
"Aw,
cute she was. Oh yeah, and
Did
there's
she
other
purr?
wizard's guy too,
I wanted to
There's
see
that
the
one
cheetah."
beautiful man.
and then a beautiful man.
And the man was okay.
How beautiful.
The cheetah was gorgeous.
That's all that matters. We talked to an anaconda. He said go up the mountain to the mother.
If you don't mind, can I look at that map? Leon said.
He didn't want. He only wanted Bun's son.
Bless her shit, she didn't
Wait,
get
what?
actual
The
map, she got
anaconda.
pointed.
Oh yeah.
Wait, was it? Did Sonya get a map or?
Nope.
No,
He said
it's just a coin.
It's a coin that functions as a map because it's like a super
Nice.
compass.
Yeah, I thought.
The
it was
wizard
a
called it a
map.
map, but it's a coin that's literally just
Okay.
guiding you to a direction.
Okay.
It's Jack Sparrow's compass from
He just-
that one movie that I can't go into further detail on because copyrights.
But it's the one that only
If-
leads you to what you need.
Jericho has a coin right now.
If I look at the coin where it's pointing,
I already have
will I see like kind of like the distance kind
You
of?
see distance of a mountain.
So,
And we have 8 more days.
Apparently in 8 more days you should arrive to your location. Yes.
Can I We have our scroll, or we sent it away.
Did you already sent that? Yeah.
Can I remember what it said out loud?
Yeah.
Okay.
Have fun trying to read it. I still can't read the damn thing.
The thing that said, again, that we were supposed to relocate 6 runes 4 eggs to the unplottable jungle in the Congo with the agreement to all 6 eggs, and then the payment, da-da-da-da-da-da. So we're taking them, theoretically, whatever's in the chest, whatever we were given, up to the spot in the jungle of the Congo. So technically,
Which we're already in the Congo.
we have been directed now by 2 sources to go up the mountain, and that's, I think, where we're supposed to take the chest.
Technically, yeah.
Can we
Yes,
the
because
camels into the mountain?
it's going to be a hard pitch for them.
Do we need to potentially leave them at the bottom and go up?
That's what you guys feel is
That's
safer.
what I wanted to ask everyone, because I was thinking, okay, we've been doing desert travel, we're about to be going up.
They definitely excel at the long travel that you guys did, but now this is not their strength.
Yeah. they're
And
not-
based
they're not
on what
here for mountains.
Unsomni told us, he said that the runes for animals are
Mhm.
deadly.
Oh yeah.
And vicious.
So,
Mhm.
with that, how are we gonna? What we're gonna do with the camels? Can we just leave them here? Can they travel back to where they go?
Can we have
They are. I will let you know this, and this will be a good clue. They are camels.
So they should be okay if we have a little spot with some provisions for them and kind of keep them somewhat
Sure,
protected.
they're camels.
They'll be the camely.
They're camels.
Sure.
That's all you got.
They'll
They're
be their
camels.
best selves.
They're gigantic
They're camels.
Australian destroying pest. Yeah, they'll find food and water if you leave them alone. Enough that Australia's saying they're drinking all their water.
That's how the bushfire started. Oh god.
It is
Yeah.
not global warming whatsoever. Climate change does
Yeah.
not exist.
Yeah.
If I have to
made up by
choose in
China.
order to convince them, I'll stick with animals with
Yeah.
them in some way.
Just get them to be calm and wait for us. Give them honey.
Yeah, it's been-
That's what the horse like.
Horses are like them?
We'll come back.
What if we just take them to slowly to the mountain and then leave it at the bottom of the mountain?
That's what we were talking about.
Yeah, like kind of right before the grade starts going up and where they're protected-ish, unless there's some predator.
Okay.
We don't think the anaconda's gonna eat our camels, do we?
The anaconda's left already.
Okay. But I mean, who's big?
Also, the
Really?
camel's
But-
too big for
I
the
don't think it- I think
But
anaconda
he wasn't
to
even
digest.
wanting the flamingo.
Probably, yeah.
Anaconda probably, but the other ones.
I mean, I've
definitely
seen an
not.
anaconda eat a small horse, so.
Yeah.
But the camel's a different story. So, as you guys gather the provisions that you need, take your camels to where you think would be the safest spot to, have the forest babysit them. Following alongside and using the necklace as your current guide. As you guys are moving further and further along, it will take you about an additional day to get to where I'm about to describe, but
Do we still have alarm active every day?
every morning Sonya casts alarm.
Alarm.
And if you're still okay with that, Sonya. Alright, so another day, Sonya casts her alarm. You guys have flamingo meat. It tastes like
Flamingo's gone, man.
it tastes like shrimp. I don't know.
Does somebody have the wings? Is like,
I need the wings.
Do you guys want to add flamingo wings to your inventory? Sure.
Flamingo wings in the inventory.
You have flamingo
Ruined
wings.
me, that's all.
The greatness of
You're my
D&D.
brother.
Flamingo wings. I'm
gonna
writing
get-
that down.
I have brought this upon us all. This is
This
what
With
happens
100.
when you roll 100 on a
Okay,
percentile.
okay,
I'll
okay,
give you
Back
this.
to the story. Back to the story.
I'm just gonna say Neff is going to literally like trounce around for like an hour going, I have wings now! And that's about it.
I don't want to see a
That's
werewolf
disturbing.
ice
But-
dragon spawn.
As you guys keep progressing forward within the thickness of the jungle, the terrain would normally slow you down, but with your ability to track, you're not slow.
I'm not. Just FYI, I'm not favored terrain forest.
Yes, but you do know how to step a little bit further.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
This
yours-
is natural terrain, not supernatural
Natural.
terrain,
Okay.
which that would have slowed anybody down.
I mean, I can
Um,
make it supernatural.
Is
terrain.
Nap leading us now since she's the
I would say that
Survivalist.
technically Jericho was leading you since he's the one that has
Yeah.
the actual
Yeah.
like coin map compass.
He's the bait for the
As
lion.
you guys start seeing the mountains blanketed by the ever so thick greenery, the humidity gets more and more humid. Wild fungi, birds getting louder and louder. Eventually, as the coin keeps moving to the next day, you start seeing less and less animals. You intently do see like a family of baboons start following you around, like very curious, and you almost see like a face of concern. And after a set point, like a very specific tree that has like a giant like gash mark, like almost like a rock hit it, they just start running in the opposite direction.
Wait, there's a tree with a gash?
Mhm.
Speak with plants.
Okay.
I want to talk to this tree.
All right.
And
What do you ask it?
I'm gonna be like, how'd you get that battle wound, buddy?
It would reply, the monkeys did it, or the apes. Whatever word would describe that.
How big is this gash?
It's like yeah, like literally like the size of
Oh.
a stone hitting it.
Oh.
They and you would get the information that they marked it for their own protection. They wish to not veer through the protective illusions.
Protective illusions.
Wizards, your kind.
Ah. Okay. I'm gonna relay what the tree said. I'm gonna boop it for
Okay.
future notes.
Boop the tree for future notes.
Yeah.
The thickness of the large tropical trees keeps getting higher and higher and higher. You start hearing the loud path of just rivers crossing through, and you start seeing a thickness of fog. It gets really thick and thicker and thicker and thicker.
Like once
yes.
Once we get to the mountains itself, I was gonna move forward, like I guess still let Jericho kind of lead because of the coin, but I'll be right behind him.
I would be carrying the chest.
Okay.
And I'm going to be checking it.
As
Hey,
Oh,
Chris.
he's
Griswold
standing.
dies. As you guys are traveling through, the coin is starting to lead you guys through literally pointing directly through a mountain, and like there's like a blanket of fog like around the mountainside. You guys are like at the bottom of the base of it, but like the coin is pointing directly through the mountain. The coin's been really good at avoiding specific obstacles and just leading through paths, like natural either hoof paths or natural walking trails that like people have left behind. But this time is the first that is pointing through a solid object.
So it's ignoring terrain.
Right now it is
It's ignoring terrain that we currently perceive.
Yeah.
Okay.
What do you guys do? Specifically Jericho, what do you do?
So we just stopped in front of them.
Technically, the bottom of the basin of a mountain with this blanket of fog around the entire area.
That's not ominous
And
at all.
and depending on where you have the coin is technically touching the fog. If it's in your shirt, it's pulling to the fog. If it's out of your shirt, the coin is touching the fog.
So we can go around the mountain, go up the mountain, go through the mountain.
Anybody got explosives?
don't think we have to go.
We're mining experts now.
What if it's an illusion, guys?
Do I don't know if we've talked about this. Do we know
Yeah,
what
the tree kind of made it sound like
what
there was
a
a.
spore is? What this creature is?
You know it's a snake.
Very poisonous.
A very
That
deadly,
is-
poisonous three-headed snake.
Super deadly poisonous three-headed
Like,
snake.
can I look on the ground for some kind of track for it?
You can roll survival, yeah.
Because I'm not proficient with it, so never mind.
The tree was right next to the base of them.
Very close. Yeah,
Very
maybe like
close?
100 feet,
So
or a little bit under 100 feet.
Arguably, I still have Speak with Plants active.
Sure.
Cool.
Would I be able to pick out specific animal tracks?
It's 15.
You have never been to the Congo's
That's
rainforest,
true.
but you can roll survival.
Okay.
I'm nearest plant to fog barrier. Find it. I don't care if it's grass or
Yeah,
whatever.
sure.
it
Yeah,
is.
speaking of grass.
I'm going to ask said plant. I'm going to be like, is the fog natural? Has it been here since you've been able to see it?
17.
It is not natural, and it was here before me. Yes. What did you get?
15.
You do not find anything that would resemble what you think a snake would be, and you don't find any markings around here.
Okay.
Like almost as soon as you saw that baboon like book it the other way, there is no markings at all for animals.
Okay.
Like, we're not on the mountains yet, right? We're at the barrier of the
You are at the bottom basin of the mountains.
And the point is just staying good.
I'm gonna walk forward
Okay.
because
All right. You guys see
Yeah, I'm gonna walk forward.
Leon and Jericho walk into the fog, and within a second they disappear.
Whoa. Okay.
what do I see? Anything?
Don't go too far. Can't see you.
You don't hear anything.
Can I use message for Leon, who's the first one, right?
Mhm.
Or Jericho? And
What
just
is it?
say, guys, don't go too far. We're gonna follow you in.
Did y'all enter the fog at the same
You hear
time,
that?
or was it one after the other?
Jericho said, Leon said he went first, and then Jericho said after.
I'm gonna call out to Jericho as soon as he is no longer perceptible in the fog. I'm gonna be like, Jericho, clap once if you can hear this.
You don't hear anything. You don't. He doesn't hear anything.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No, I don't hear.
You do not hear that.
Do I see Jericho in front of
Nope.
me?
I can't tell you what you see because it will influence everybody's action.
Okay.
But I sent message.
You
to
did say
Jericho.
message. Jericho, Leon. I think you said Leon because you went first. Or,
Okay, whoever went first.
Okay, so Leon, you get the message.
Okay.
Don't go too far because we can't see you.
Oh, we're
Okay.
following you in.
Do you go in, Bones?
Yeah.
Okay.
I want my snake staff out and
Okay.
that one.
Okay. We have both out. Does anyone stay behind? That is a better
Guys.
question.
I'll go with Bone.
Oh god. Alright, can we just touch each other?
The only one that can hear you would be Griswold.
I'm gonna look to you and be like, I mean,
I'm holding this fucking thing. I can't really do much with my ball right
And
now.
technically, all the camels are outside the fog, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
The intention was.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure. That's all.
Yeah.
But we didn't bring the chest in yet.
Nope,
We're just
because
walking
she's-
into the fog.
She has it, yeah.
I have the chest because we left the.
So
I'm gonna be like, there's
you-
plants here. There might not be plants there. I like plants. I want to stay around them. But everything up to this point has been telling us to go up this particular mountain.
Technically, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I think the fog's part of some sort of protective barrier.
It would make sense.
According to the grass I was conveniently talking to. No, I'm not high enough. Stop. don't give me that look.
We pulled out your poison veins.
I'm gonna look at you how I want
The
to.
grass says that the fog is not natural, but it's been here since before that particular patch of grass has been there. So this place has been under at least some sort of protection for a while.
Okay.
So the fog's probably a part of that.
Okay.
I don't know if I want to walk into it. I also don't know what's going to happen to that chest if it breaches that barrier. Because it is magically enchanted, and enchantments tend to do weird things when they meet other enchantments.
Are we allowed to be part of this or no? We're
Nope.
in the fog.
You don't
Y'all
hear
already
us.
in the fog. Wait,
Okay.
is
You don't hear us
Sonya, did
at
you
all.
go in the
Yeah,
fog?
Yeah.
she
Yeah.
went
She
in
went in
with
with
Bones.
me.
Mm-hmm.
We were-
Unfortunately, no, you cannot.
We were touching, were we?
You didn't say you were. Sorry.
When I walk in the fog, I take one step in and then I step back out.
Nope. You do not.
I'm gonna look to Neff and be like, I have an idea, but it's stupid.
Oh god.
Spiral. Spiral hops off of my shoulder, right? And he says whatever he wants to say. I'm gonna be like, okay, we're gonna form a Congo line. Can you potentially drag that chest one-handed.
Roll me perception, Sonya.
Can I possibly hold it one hand?
Yeah.
Sonya and
Okay.
perception.
I can hold it with one
I
hand.
mean, you're super buff, right?
Yeah.
So I'm not really worried about that. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to have Spine Roll lead us.
27.
He has tremor sense.
Okay.
So he can feel movement in the ground in about a 30-foot radius around him.
Okay.
So,
We gotta just hold on to each other though.
yeah, that's what I'm thinking. If this doesn't work, I might have just lost my cactus. And I like this cactus.
Yeah.
He's very dear to my heart. Spine Roll's a he, right?
Technically he's the both, but yeah.
That is a shirt.
Technically he's kind of both.
Yeah.
I'm gonna call him a he. He acts like a he.
Yeah, yeah.
But anyway.
So I have it underneath my arm. I'm
Okay.
gonna go. Do you want to go with spine roll and I just bring up the end, or?
Yeah, I'm gonna be in the middle.
Okay.
So grab onto something, shoulder, I don't give a shit. You do you, dog. But yeah.
No, get it.
Roll me a D8.
What was she
Sonya.
grabbing for?
But no.
But-
I mean, I don't
No,
have. I don't
I
have
was
very
joking. I was joking.
As you grab onto each other in the appropriate manner of that.
Yes.
And spine roll goes in.
Yes.
Sonya, what did you get on D8?
4?
Okay. As you're walking through, Sonya, all you see is fog around you. You don't hear anything. You don't see bones. Fog, fog, fog. And then as soon as you step out, you see the last bit of foot from Neff step back into the fog.
This
Now that everybody has in,
Neff, Griswold, and Spinal are all making contact
yes,
during entry to
Yes.
this. Do they still feel said contact after breaching barrier?
you feel the contact, but you don't see anybody in front of you. What you guys
Oh, fucky.
see, and Sonya technically does not, because as soon if we're not trying to break the game in meta, you said you step foot in and then immediately step foot out,
Yeah.
with a lot of information spoiled in between. So technically, all you see is just white.
Is what?
All you saw was white, and then you stepped back out.
Okay.
But when you stepped out, you're about 30 feet in the opposite, like adjacent to where you came in.
Oh wow, so big step back.
Yeah. So you came in this way, and then 30 feet to the left of you is when you came back out.
Oh wow.
As all you guys are going inside, all you see is thickness of just pure white. You feel the tether and the physical contact between the three of you. The rest of you do not. You cannot hear anything. You don't perceive anything.
I'm gonna call out to Neff first and see if she can hear me.
You say the word Neff out loud as long as you want. Neff, you don't hear anything.
Shit.
Did I ever get a message back from Leon?
Technically, if he wants to respond, he can.
Oh, and I guess I'm rewinding just a little bit, but the command to spine roll for leading this is literally walking a straight line forward, and if you feel anything in the earth, stop.
Okay. Leon, do you want to reply to the message?
I'll just say okay.
Oh, okay. You get that word. As you guys are walking, it feels like you've been walking for about a minute or so. Just walking and walking, all of you. And then eventually, you don't see fog anymore, instead you just see stone. As you kind of look above, and there's fog above you, but there's a little base of this stone. And all of you are at completely different locations. You will see Spine Roll yourself and Neff. You three will see each other. But Bones, you're by yourself, and all you see is just fog around you to the left and to the right of you, a little bit on the floor, and then just a stone wall. Same thing with Leon, same thing with Jericho. With that, Sonya, what do we do?
Yeah, as soon as I'm back 30 feet and if I see nobody, I'm gonna go back into it.
Okay. Same exact description, but now what do we all do once you get to the stone?
I mean, I look at the stone and see if there's any identifying features on it.
Perception?
I guess because we formed the Congo line, I don't have my shield.
Is it a stone?
Is there any writing on it?
It just looks like stone. Roll perception.
Is there any way up to this?
9.
This stone wall, like mountain. Like it looks like you're.
So it looks
seeing
like the
a-
sheer face of a mountain.
Yeah.
Can I also roll perception? Or stone in front
Is
of me?
fog also encroaching here, or
It's around you and on the floor, but not on the mountain. 19, same description.
I
You
touched
see
them all.
fog all around you. You see the mountains, the wall of the mountain, the basin of it. What'd you get?
10.
10, 23. 23, as Jericho, Leon, you move your hand, you touch the stone, and you feel no pressure or any force stopping you, and you kind of move your hand back. Jericho, you hear a to the side of you, and you swore you saw a hand go through something. But there was and then fog immediately gets thicker, almost to obscure your vision.
Can I pull out my wand of secrets and use one of the charges to see if there is a secret door trap within 30 feet?
Technically, this wouldn't be a secret door, but I will say that it glows because it's not a door. It's a giant entrance, but it does illuminate.
And it's directly in front of me, like follow it in.
Hey, like you said,
Your hand goes
no
through.
pressure.
Yep.
Can I kind of peek in?
As soon as you peek in, you see a much thicker and more lively forest. And just loud, extremely loud. It just looks like what you saw earlier, just plant growth everywhere. And you definitely feel you feel the humidity, but a cool breeze comes through. As though the mountain, you no longer see mountain, you just see a wild jungle.
Oh yeah, just
Or forest, technically, sorry.
also just a little. I guess backtrack a little bit. Kuskrug is with the camels,
Okay.
and I told him to kind of perch up in the tree
Who goes with the
or
camels?
whatever. And
So,
yeah,
unless one of you guys will not touch the stone and go through it.
I will go through it, but
Okay.
I want to go a little stealthy
Okay.
and
Roll
see
me
and actually
stealth.
kind of look around too if anybody else.
Roll me
in the
stealth.
party.
And then is everyone going to go through?
Yep.
Going through.
Since kinda you can't unmeta what you just heard.
Yeah.
Um
Well, I would have touched the stone next.
and some of us have we were told there's illusions, we have the secret wand out. I need everyone to roll me a d6. What did you get on stealth? 16, okay. And if anyone's passive perception is higher than 16, you will be able to see Leon.
higher? What about at 6?
You'll be able to see.
Okay.
That's high. That's a perception.
Alright.
Yeah, mine too. 16.
What did you get? 3. You pop out right next to Jericho. Jericho, he comes in first and you almost on top of him.
Oh shit!
I got a 6.
You were about 30 feet from everybody so far. Sorry, 90 feet away from everybody. But almost in a straight line.
Like we come
4.
out in the same line, but
Yeah,
we're
mine
just-
too.
Yeah. You both pop out almost at the same point too. Griswold, somehow, even though you were tethered to Nev, the string is cut. Now you're only next to Spine Roll. And you both almost come up. As he does warn you, there's someone in front of you. And then, Leon, you feel punches to your calf. You're none hurting, but you do feel a squishy.
Is it like they're
Can I kind of tell?
You
what that
know who
is?
it is, but you're like, what the hell? And then you guys come up, but you're 30 feet from Jericho, and in the middle between 30 feet from where Bones is. Sonya, what did you get?
A 2.
A 2? And then you would just be about 30 feet, but on the opposite side. So all of you guys came in almost at the exact same location and got scattered 90, almost 120 feet just scattered, but almost in the same line.
Wow.
Coming out at different points.
Damn.
As though the mist was completely fucking with your sense of direction.
Yeah.
And the only reason why you guys came through is because you were intentionally powering through looking for something.
And with that, I will kind of. I don't know if he'll hear it, but I will kind of whisper to myself. It's like, that's why I can't really tell. This is not the mountains. I'm sad.
So, I do want to welcome the Order of the Broken Moth into the unpopulated area of Wagadu's school, where the magical creatures are protected.
Ooh.
As when you
Like
guys
the Forbidden
come through,
Forest.
it's like their version of Forbidden
Yes.
Forest. As when you guys do come through, the entire area is filled with a large humidity, but again, it's cold. It's not hot in here. And then when you see like a beam of sun rays, the temperature increases to high 90s. The humidity gets thicker. You also see a flock of just like hundreds and hundreds of butterflies flying through, almost like in a pool of them. And then we start looking closely, that is just one actual butterfly that is made out of hundreds of them. You do see like large birds start running through, and as soon as you see them, you hear a of thunder, and then they're hundreds of feet that way and start running away. You do hear a roar off into the distance of almost like a cat-like creature. It's a huge roar. Not lionish, but more like cattish, but with just the base of the lion.
Oh boy, another displacer beast.
Or another.
I can get my skull back.
Let's hope it's not a Nandu.
You do start seeing frogs with wings start flying through the air. A large amount of mosquitoes go through, but something almost invisible. You just see the bending of light as though like a human-shaped thing just caught it, and you see the mosquitoes start being sucked in and torn, as though something ate this pool of mosquitoes. So, Order of the Broken Moth. What do we do?
The very first thing I'm going to do when we break that wall is I'm going to go, shit, Jericho, hang on. And I'm going to look and see if anything is anything
Roll
messing
perception.
with the chest that I'm holding.
Is the coin reacting anymore?
That is a
Yes, it's still reacting.
17.
17. As you came through, you do see that there are 3 enchantments on this chest, and one of them is completely lifted.
Fuck. Guys, one of the enchantments is gone.
Well, I mean,
What did we say they were? They were.
One
temperature?
was a weathered effect, so something that you guys can into like temperature control, pressure control. One was a protective barrier, and one was a anti-enlargement, so a reduced size spell.
Would I know which one?
You wouldn't know, fortunately.
I don't know
If anyone
which
wants to
one.
roll an Arcana check,
We're gonna start
I
converging.
mean, we're still spaced like 120 feet.
yeah. I mean, you guys can convene in the middle.
Yeah,
Okay, so we're reconvening. Okay.
I would like to do that, and I would like to look at it too and see since you went. Oh, one's gone.
Roll me Arcana.
I went to.
Okay. Either both of you can roll, or one of you with an advantage.
Not gonna help us. Yeah, I just got a 4.
You have no idea. 24. The weathered
Cute.
spell was removed.
But it's hot here, so maybe. It's
If you are directly in the sun, it is incredibly hot. If you're not, it's actually quite cool.
But also, they were just being kept potentially in their optimal temperature, which the desert was not. So maybe this is. We should probably
I
still
want
get
to
a
look
move
at the
on.
coin and see where it's pointing.
It's still pointing, and now that it's here, it's pointing up. And with us, as far as you guys can perceive, in this area, very much feels like a dome. There's a large mountain in the middle, with also a ring of fog towards the middle of it, and then something up top, like large trees, like thick trees. When I mean thick trees, I mean like 60 to 80 feet basing around trees on top of it.
Is the coin pointing there?
It's pointing directly up into the center.
Then
We should probably get a move on.
And
In a broom hold, you said?
it can do 2 medium creatures, yeah.
So a 50-pound crate on a broom.
That would be too much, yeah.
That'd be a hell of a balancing act.
You can hold yourself and the thing, but you have to go slow, and I would need a dexterity check for balance.
do, but I think we should just
Walk. I'm just afraid something's gonna. Here's my instant thought, party, as I'm just rambling here. But after reading the thing again, you know, we needed to get it to this particular area and deliver it to its mother or wherever the destined location was, where it's safe. So this up to this point has not been very difficult. We haven't really been taxed magically. We're good. We're checking ourselves and stuff, so that's something. But my feeling is that we just walked into the area they are actually paying us to walk it through. This is where the danger is going to happen, is my guess. So I think we need to protect these guys and not just walk aimlessly into something. That's my thoughts.
I'm going to look at Bones as she says that, look around, and I guess try to perceive the most magical plant in our immediate radius.
Perception.
We're being paid quite a bit.
Nice.
So this, to me, seems like it's going to be difficult.
Magical plant within here. Yeah. You see a couple of thick vines, so you start like trying to see if let's see where this goes, right? You start trying to see like what's the biggest tree, and a lot of it is mundane, thick palm, and the thick grass around. But when you start, your eyes keep going back to these vines, and eventually you start seeing the vine start just move, and then the entire vine has this thick, completely same colored as the thick brown scales that move through. And you start seeing the vine slowly move and start twisting around whatever it's holding, as though the vine itself it's moving from one large tree to the other tree. But if you have not noticed the scales move, it would have been completely invisible.
Okay. Do I still have Speak with Plants active? Because last active point was before we walked.
What? 10 minutes?
10 minutes.
Sure.
Sure. I'm gonna just look to the vines and say, hey, very slow moving vines that I don't quite know, but wouldn't mind getting to know more. What's the most dangerous thing in this region? That you've seen?
As the vines look at you, and there's a kind
Do
of
they have eyes to look?
No.
No?
This will not have
Just
not that
feel
you
them.
can see.
Not that I can see. Ah!
You can see.
Air of mystery.
The vines, as it's continuously moving, and since you spoke to it, it won't view you as a threat, so it won't stand still. As what you can perceive, or what you're gathering. It has all tree and plant life. They don't sound the same, obviously. They have a specific tone to them when they speak to you, or mannerism, depending on environment and what plant it is.
Of course.
This one legitimately sounds like it has a hint of parcel tongue to it. As the vines say, our mother.
When you say our mother, you mean specifically like your kind's mother, or do you mean like mother of all plants?
Mother of all snakes.
Yeah. Okay. We're here to deliver some more things for that. So makes sense. What's the most convenient path towards the mountain in the middle?
Persuasion. Will
Can
it
I?
trust you?
I had my snake staff,
Mhm.
right? While he's doing this, can I just see if anything's gonna come to me and want to activate it?
So the thing about
Percentile, and then yes, you can
the
activate.
thing about Speak with Plants that I don't quite
I'm
understand
wondering if it'd be
is
divine.
that
Okay.
I don't know if
Hopefully
the plants
no.
actually speak audibly.
No, it would be a
It's just like a
telepathic
thought?
thing.
Yeah, that's
You would get a
awesome.
telepathic communication with them.
Okay.
39.
39. You're kind of hoping because you see like this kind of looks like a snake, but it's not. Technically, it is a plant, and nothing comes to you, which maybe is a good sign.
Yeah, because I feel that these are, and I didn't want to necessarily use it around the eggs
Got a
either,
6
so
on
I want to
persuasion.
turn it off if I can really quickly
Okay,
since something
alright.
came,
Okay,
obviously.
you turn off this eyes on the snake go away.
I mean, it has no reason to distrust you.
Yeah.
I wouldn't
It's
say
going to tell you, you're not a wizard I trust.
That's fair. I can appreciate that. All right. This last question is gonna sound a little weird. Can I just? I'm gonna reach out
Oh my
and very
God.
lightly.
As you very lightly boop it, it continues to twirl around.
Okay. Cool.
Which, if this thing had any capabilities to like defend itself or attack, it would have. But it did say it did not trust you as wizards.
Okay. Well, I marked it anyway. I'm good.
It, I'll change the wording a slight bit as you're not a wizard I've seen, so you're not a wizard I trust.
Totally fair, bud. All right, you go about your day. I'll just be here, talking
plants.
moving plants.
As the coin is still technically moving to a set location.
I mean, I think we can just logically deduce what point that happens
Yeah.
to be.
So, what do we do?
I think we should get a move on and go.
The plant tells me the most dangerous thing is the mother of snakes, which
That's what the anaconda said to us too, that the mother's protecting her babies.
yeah. So
Oh,
yeah, the
God.
most dangerous thing here is definitely the rune spore. But I think they might just be confined to the top of that mountain, maybe.
Would they attack us for bringing them eggs?
Oh,
Would they see that as a
One thing that you do
threat?
see that it's kind of
Important.
not necessarily like super important, but a little detail to kind of give the quest marker look is which I completely should make sense this way, because only the beams of sunlight produce the heat necessary for some things here. The entire top of the mountain has nothing protecting it from direct sunlight. So whatever that little thing on top of there with the big giant trees and some stone-ish structures that don't look exactly like mountains is completely blanketed by sunlight.
How, from where we're standing to like the base of that mountain, how much distance is that?
The survival.
Survival.
Percept that survival.
Alright.
Technically, it is a perception / survival roll. So just
Okay.
roll me survival.
So can we have
I
our perception
think-
person run?
That is survival is 21.
Basing on how you traveled, taking 2 days here, how extra thick this is, the creatures. I'm thinking if you hurry, by nightfall, if you are cautious, maybe a day or two. But if you just gut it and run, you by yourself, you'll make it by nightfall. But with everybody else in the chest, maybe a day or so. Especially if you're trying to be careful and safe, like the party has suggested. But if you just want to bolt and run, then yeah, by nightfall you'll get there.
I'm gonna relay that information to the group. Say, okay,
Who is okay? And here's the other thing I wanted to throw out there because I anticipate this is going to be difficult. Why would they pay us what they're paying us so handsomely? And why would the people who live here not do this? Why would they want the British ministry to do this?
Maybe they were illegally smuggled into the UK and they returned.
Yeah, but so we're either going to be and just this is my historical reading, whatever bookish nerd coming out. But I'm thinking that either these rune spores are going to be really mad, like these were taken from them, and they're thinking we're the ones that took them, so they're going to try to punish us, or they're going to just not want anyone in their territory to be offended. So is there any way as we get close we can do some kind of a delivery that wouldn't put us in mortal danger? Levitate? Something? I don't know.
Well, and, I can see the fog around like the middle of the mountain, right? Like, and it's another like band looking thing around the middle. So it looks like it's kind of penetrating a cloud, sort of.
The mountain will not be. Yeah, it looks like the mountain is penetrating cloud, but
That's, yeah. Okay.
Looks
So-
like a Mount Doom from Zelda.
Right.
And I'm speaking to the Ravenclaws.
Yeah.
Because I'm a Gryffindor, and I'm like, I'll do it, but tell me what to do.
That band of fog might also be magically enchanted. I don't
It's probably gonna take off. Well, no, I don't know that. Never mind.
like. We don't know what other protections are in this place, so just trying to levitate a very, very dangerous egg to a very, very, very dangerous creature might not be the best way to go about it.
I agree that it's not. I'm just wondering if there's any kind of delivery that would seem less offensive, because I don't know much about rune spores. Something that would be like, not that we wouldn't be there at all, but like we go all the way up to the point that it's, we're in their territory, and then they're like, hey.
From my time in school, what I know if rune spores are intelligent, like full sentient, like able to communicate.
Based on last time that you guys rolled, you will not have to sector that. So, take what grain of salt this means to you.
Okay.
They're very dangerous.
I mean, that's what Insomni said. He said it's ridiculously dangerous. And my limited exposure to snakes and or dragons and or the like of that, they're all incredibly smart. They're crafty. I have much respect.
I will say that it sounds like maybe this is the alpha predator.
Hey, it's a job. We're equipped. I just like to not, slash and what do you guys say, rip and tear all the way up. I don't want to do that.
Jericho kind of is a little smart.
I think the quicker we can deliver these, the quicker we can be out of here.
Okay.
Right, but this place is cool. There's snake vines.
It's amazing. It's beautiful, but I feel very much intruding.
So, as you guys have reached the unpopulated area of the Wagadu, protective magical creature barriers within the Enchanted Mountains. Plan on what you guys want to do.
Yep.
Plan on how you guys get there.
Yep.
It's about a day or 2 days trip. Chat amongst yourselves because we're gonna start right here next week.
Okay.
Oh, I want to note something while we are on stream.
Yeah.
After discussing the rune spores, is it possible for me to hold a spell ready for an extended period of time with a specific trigger?
Technically, so if I understood correctly from the book, which I'm not 100% liking how it says. If I have a spell prepared, it has to be an action. So like an action to be able to cast. So I have that spell prepared on my wand. If nothing ever triggers that, I can't just say, okay, go away. The spell has to be released. It has to be used up for balance purposes.
So you're no, I'm perfectly okay with sacrificing the spell slot if the trigger doesn't happen, but I want to, in that case, hold a spell on the off chance that trigger does happen. And that spell is plant growth, and the trigger is any hostile action or movement towards the party.
I would also say that if you're constantly holding on to it for more than if you're holding on to it and you're in a room just waiting for that door to open versus holding on to it and walking through a jungle trying to avoid danger, that is concentration.
Okay, never mind then. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah. But that's a really cool question because that's the first time I ever heard anyone say that in 16 years. So that's really cool. Yeah.
Thank you. Can I have mage armor? As I'm sitting here.
How long is mage armor?
Sure, you can make
8
them.
hours. As I'm sitting here being so scared of everything. And
You can
talking
cast mage
about
armor.
it.
Just note it down. So next game you'll start with it. Note down that you started it as soon as you guys entered here. So you have 8 hours from now. And if I can ask everyone to get their wands out. Waiting for the Aether to grab their wands. Oh, I love the Aether. It has technical issues, but I love the Aether. As everyone has their wands out, I want you guys. Thank you for watching. We'll edit this, put on YouTube, so it'll be next Tuesday. So if you miss anything, you can watch it right before the episode for Wednesday. But all right, wizards and witches, wands at the ready. Adios. See you next time.